For real? Oh, no. Let's go.
Boston
State of OH. Today. In Berkeley, California. You got it. This one's for three. AJ Hawk, $5,000. USA, USA, USA.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. on this new national champion. Sports Tuesday, April 7, 2026. This program begins now. Sports are the greatest thing of all time, and last night we had the incredible opportunity to be in the building, in the Loud House that became the Big House for the national championship for this March Madness's completion. For the one shining moment, headed Dusty May and the boys from Ann Arbor. Now, Dusty's in his second year as head coach for Michigan. Last year they win the Big Ten title, regular season, I believe, or something along those lines, and then they end up losing in the tourney. This year they are now 37-3. Is how their record will stand against the test of time on who's the best team of all time in college hoops. Certainly in Michigan's history, it's this squad, which they even self-described themselves as hearing the chatters about them being mercenaries. All 5 of them brought in for Dusty May. All 5 of them are now national champs alongside the rest of the program. Congrats to them representing the Big Ten, who now has national championships in everything. Uh-oh. Is the North taking over the South in athletics? Because the transfer portal in the NIL have now allowed the alumni from these northern universities that most of them come from business schools and have some sort of job where they're able to go ahead and give $100,000 a year instead of going to somewhere else. Maybe I would like to see where charities are doing. Sure. I'd like to see how charities are actually doing in this particular time. But there's a lot of people, CEOs, CMOs, CFOs, entrepreneurs, people that come from these business schools and these professional schools, the law firms, everything that come out of these state schools and these Big Ten schools. They all are being told by their universities, hey, we'll treat you like gods back here at this school that you love so much. We just ask if you could potentially help our sports teams. And these people are. And if they win, they're going to continue to do as such. And the people in Michigan, they're parking Bentleys in front of their houses. They're pulling up to the dormitory riding Rolls Royces. I mean, you got billionaires' kids and billionaires' kids going to these particular institutions. Michigan more likely, and also richest guy on earth who owns an island of the Hawaiian Islands just so happens to be with a lady who loves Michigan. So, oh yeah, I'll pay $20 million for you guys to get a quarterback. I mean, that's what's happening at these northern schools. And now, granted, you can't just buy up a championship. You can certainly buy talent that can maybe come together, become a team, and dominate everybody like this Michigan team did all season long. They had 3 losses, obviously, out of 40 goes. But throughout the tournament, they were ass kickers. And last night, they had to play a completely different style of ball because Dan Hurley and UConn slowed them down, and they were still able to get the dub. They win by 6.
Ooh.
UConn plus 6.5 obviously hits. Dan Hurley now 19-1 in his last 20 tournament games against the spread. They lose, keep it close. Couldn't hit a shot for the life of them. We're in there. I mean, hour 45 minutes go by. I don't think I saw UConn hit a shot. I don't think I saw UConn actually knock down a shot. Was it because of sightlines? You know, Michigan, Dusty May, he was able to take the boys out to the Big House, and they were seeing with that big stadium. Yeah. UConn Stadium too small?
Yes, definitely.
So Dan Hurley couldn't do their football stadium too small?
Yep.
Right.
So Dan Hurley couldn't do that? Was this potentially the UConn football's fault? Is that what we could potentially be blaming in this entire thing? Or can we just understand that this Michigan team, maybe a bunch of mercenaries, that guy's having a good time, Michigan fans are having a good time last night. Maybe they were a bunch of people brought together, but how you cultivate a culture to become a champion is just something that people will be asking Dusty May and the boys for a long time. We'll be talking to Yaxel Lendeborg here in about 3 minutes or so, fresh off a national championship. He's a dog. Yeah. He could have won in the draft last year, I do believe, out of UAB. He decides to return to college like a lot of people are doing with the NIL, goes to Michigan, becomes leader, becomes beast, becomes national champion, will now enter the NBA. Had a knee and an ankle, I believe he was battling through, so real championship grit. Congrats to them. Can't wait to catch up with him. Also on today's show, Peter Schrager. Peter Schrager. Adam Schefter, I believe he was in town last night. He was all over the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
A couple times he was really into it on the Jumbotron.
Superstar.
There's another one where he's sitting, standing. There's one where he's texting. He was. The camera was finding him. How could you not?
Yeah.
It's Adam Schefter. Got a pretty good pop. Schefter got a pretty good pop up there, too. I think he should feel very, very good about that. And then we'll have Mark Schlabach. He's good dogs. He covers golf for ESPN. He's down at the Masters. Can't wait to catch up with him. He came on our show like a month ago or whatever. Electric.
Yeah. The man.
We had no idea what to think. We just needed somebody that knew golf to come on the show. So we went through the entire Rolodex. Who would come on the show? Schlabach says, I'll come on the show.
Yeah.
Had no idea how to get on show. Zoom, FaceTime, audio, everything was wrong. Couldn't get it. And that's actually slotted for 15:20. 13 to 14 minutes of trying to figure out the connection with Mark. I believe Mark, big-time writer. I think Mark kind of stays away from all this. He popped up on our show and was the guy. Cannot wait to hear his thoughts on how the Masters are going to go. He's going to have thoughts about everything. The sandwiches, the ice cream, the this, the that, the players, the whole thing. His first take for the tournament we were talking to him, which I think was the players, he goes, that guy doesn't need the money, so let's assume he loses, goes right down to the next one. It's like, well, why is that? Oh, he's a billionaire's kid, okay? He needs hustle. This guy thinks like we do. We can't wait to catch up with him. And obviously, Masters Week is a gigantic one for golf. Let's go back to college hoops. We have to. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Conman College basketball, one shining moment. Michigan's Big Ten. Your thoughts on their dominance?
Yeah, pretty incredible. It did feel like Florida last year. You know, it seems as though there are these teams, once we get to March, that separate themselves early. We saw it with UConn. UConn back-to-back years, you know, the year before Florida, they rolled every single team. I think they won every single game by double digits. Those 2 years when they did win, they covered damn near every game. That's why, you know, Hurley's 18-1 or 19-1, whatever the hell it is now after last night. But Michigan, just unbelievable start to finish. Good for them. Good for the Big Ten, too.
Yeah, great for the Big Ten. And, you know, if I'm a UConn person, especially a football alum, I am maybe looking in the mirror saying, hey, if this stadium's a little bit bigger, maybe these boys can make a shot. It's got a 9-year NFL vet, UConn legend, Darius J. Butler's here.
Hey,
D-Butch, I was there with you last night, and obviously you were living and dying. A lot of Michigan.
Yeah.
That was 90% Michigan fans in there last night. I would say 90%, maybe 10% UConn fans. And no matter where you were sitting, I think you were going to be surrounded by Michigan fans. We were certainly in the place that we were. Felt like it was good banter back and forth, which I appreciated. They were beating you guys down for a good portion of that game, and you guys weren't able to make a shot, but you still end up in it. Can you describe this team, how you feel about the run that they went on? Because the grittiness is outrageous, seemingly.
Yeah, it was a dogfight. I mean, obviously they ended up winning by 6 points. At halftime, I believe Michigan had 33 points. And if you told me before the game that Michigan would have 33 points, I think they averaged 90 throughout the tournament, I would have been happy about where we were. The game was in the 60s, ended up being in the 60s. That's where you thought UConn would be able to win the game. We had our opportunities. It wasn't the sightlines. I tell you that. It wasn't that last night because Michigan couldn't shoot from behind the arc. I think they were 2 for 15. But defensively, just watching the game, just being in the building, it felt like every time we got in the paint, you thought we had a good look, a layup. It was either Big Mara or somebody coming from the backside to swat. Yeah, so they're
I forgot about the swat.
So big.
Oh, my.
So big, so athletic. You know, even off the rim, like a lot of follow-ups, put back. So, I mean, they got the job done. Dusty May did an unbelievable job. They won the whistle. I think too many whistles. Some were for us, some were for them. Too many for them. Too many whistles. But we got outplayed. They earned it. They won it. And now they have the right to at least claim that they are the best team in Michigan history. I'm sure they will say that, and then some people will say the '89 team. But you know, they did the job. It was an unbelievable job, and they got it done.
I would also like to point out Dan Hurley, just 1 day or 2 days removed from Gino Auriemma's situation at the end of the game with Dawn Staley in the Final Four. Dan Hurley made the boys sit around, watch them celebrate, finish, so they can shake their hands.
Yeah,
I like that. I like what Dan Hurley did. I also appreciate the way UConn kind of went about the entirety of March Madness. They always become a storyline because Dan Hurley's obviously electric. Yeah. We had a buzzer beater. We had tough wins. We had dogs everywhere. I appreciate that UConn team. But the Michigan team, you pointed out, I guess, UConn last year wins by double digits. Maybe we know early who the team is.
Yeah, like,
you know, maybe we just need to start recognizing, like, and that's the one right there. Now, Arizona also. Being talked about like that throughout the tournament, which is why everybody was so excited about the second game of the Final Four, the late night game, Arizona and Michigan. And then Michigan just beat the hell out of them, too. So I think we could tell early, maybe, who's going to win this entire thing.
Yeah, a little different with UConn, but with Florida at least, like, there's always that, you know, transfer kind of vet group of the team. Like we see it with Yaxel. I think Cadeau, he also was a transfer, just kind of vet. He went bananas for him last night. He had a few massive plays, but that is kind of the combination. A couple homegrown and then some, you know, vets that are basically carrying the team.
We got the crown last night too, boys. Those of us that picked plus 6.5. Conman and one half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone said we'll take UConn plus 6.5 and we will take Michigan to win the Natty. That's a nice little duo that you can take home to the bank. Couple dual crowns on the head, on the dome. What was the summary of March Madness if we had to look back from a gambler's perspective?
So obviously the first weekend was dominated by the favorites. That was all everyone talked about it. The Friday of the round of 64, all the favorites swept 16-0 in that one. And then we went into the Sweet 16 round, and it was more of the same. Favorites were 6-2 straight up, 4-4 against spread. So as far as, upsets this tournament, there wasn't a ton. When you go into the Final Four, it was mostly 1 seeds, and then obviously UConn does what it does. Hurley moves to 12-0 against the spread, Sweet 16 and on. He still has not lost against the spread. 2 national championships, and 2 times that they lost were to the eventual national champion. So UConn with Hurley has just been unbelievable. But then last night was great for the books, because I talked about it yesterday. I said against the spread, people were on Michigan. We're on Michigan. And obviously they did not cover against the spread. And then money line, they were on UConn. So both of those lost last night. The books had they had a good one last night. That was the best possible outcome for the books last night.
And low, because there wasn't a lot of scoring. So everybody likes the over and everything on that. But I'll tell you, watching the defense of Michigan was spectacular. It was, especially sitting right next to D-Butch, who is obviously such a loyal UConn fan, and Bruce Brown, and Gumpy, who had very much hammered UConn. So I was in the middle of this. Every time there was a little sense of hope, I don't think they're playing volleyball up there.
Yeah.
They were playing volleyball on the backboard. Joining us now, one of the men who had maybe a bump, a set, and a spot on UConn last night. A national champion, a man who transferred into Michigan out of UAB and has become an icon forever in Ann Arbor. Ladies and gentlemen, legendary name, Yaxel Lendeborg.
Yeah, Yaxel!
Hey, how you doing? Hey, congratulations. Hey, that's the trophy, obviously. How's it been? Have you guys, have you and that trophy done much this past 10, 12 hours? How's it been?
Man, a lot of hugs, a lot of kisses. I tried to give him a little something to drink, man. He didn't take it, but, it was super fun, man.
I love to hear that there was a celebratory drink offered to the trophy. Sometimes they don't get the chance to say yes or no. Normally, they're just doused in it all. I don't want to go back in time because we're having such a good moment right now, but let's do that, okay? You're at UAB, potentially going to go to the NBA. NIL transfer portal era allows a lot more opportunities for guys, especially like you. You end up at Michigan. It was acknowledged last night on the stage. People are calling us just a group of mercenaries. We all know in a team sport, you have to be able to come together. How quickly did you know that this team was going to be able to come together, even though you maybe have never played together before? And when did you know, we could be a special group? Because obviously this is something that will be remembered forever.
Well, as soon as we got on campus, the returners, Will, Roddy, Lamar, LJ, those guys really took us in under their wing and showed us the Michigan way. Those guys were super, super genuine. They put themselves, last pretty much as far as the team aspect, and that pretty much paved the way for how to see where we're gonna go. I feel like during the Vegas tournament, that's when we realized, man, we could be the best team ever. And we just kept dominating from there, kept getting confidence. Sometimes we got a little bit too high on the confidence, lost games that we shouldn't have lost. But man, I feel like those losses really, really helped us, be a way better team.
I love you going through the story. Hey, we're going to have to reconnect with you. We can't hear you perfectly, and we need to hear you perfectly. You're a national champion, for God's sake. He said, like Las Vegas tournament, they felt very good. In the entirety. Early, they felt good. A lot of great basketball players. Dusty May, I can't wait to get into that conversation. He's seemingly such a beam of light.
Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier with Michigan before Dusty, Joel Howard, obviously Michigan legend. We all understand how that went. I think he won a Big Ten at some point, had a couple winning seasons and everything like that. His last year, they were 8 and something. It was
24.
8 and 24. It was very terrible. And also, there were some situations that were brewing, obviously, in the Michigan people, who I think are a great group of people for college sports. I'd like to say the Michigan people, but they are Michigan people. They view it themselves as different, and they certainly are different. I don't think they love all the stuff that has happened negatively about Michigan, around Michigan over the last whatever amount of years. Dusty May feels like the perfect person for them. He's radiant. Mm-hmm. He's got a huge smile. Equipment manager at Indiana to where he is now. Has a grind, work for nothing type story all the way to the top. I feel like he will always say the absolute right thing. And it's just I think this is a problem. Okay, for the rest of the Big Ten. Yeah. I think this is a problem for the Big Ten, especially with what Michigan is able to do NIL-wise. They will always be able to do very big things NIL-wise.
Yeah, it's kind of like a college Spoelstra. Spoelstra started out in Miami, just kind of one of those lower guys on the video boards, kind of Matt Patricia-esque, if you will. Started out as a video guy and then works his way. He's actually football genius, basketball genius. That kind of path is so cool, too, just to watch as a unbiased, don't really care who wins fan.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, Yaxel Lendeborg.
Yeah, Yaxel!
Can you hear it? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear y'all.
Okay, we can hear you as well. This is good news. This is good news. I think we're back in the action here. I think we're in a very good spot. Thank you for being patient with us, especially in this moment where you're going to want to celebrate. We were just chit-chatting about Dusty May and how he smiles. He seems radiant. This guy feels like the perfect coach for Michigan alongside all the offerings off the court that Michigan has. Can you tell me about Dusty May a little bit? What makes him special? And when did you know that this was the guy you wanted to play your final year of college with?
Yeah, he's super, super special. He's a super genuine guy. You know, he cares about you more as a person than a basketball player, which I feel like is kind of rare. I played with coaches who just, care about your skills, and there's been many times this year where I was going through a lot emotionally, and, he just took care of me. He didn't care about the basketball. He even told me to take a break mentally from basketball, which is like, I'm not going to take that, but, I appreciate the offer. I know you guys heard the story about him carrying Elliot's couch or stuff upstairs. Like, he's really a team first kind of guy, and it's really amazing to be a part of that. When I knew I wanted to be coached by Dusty May was the first year watching March Madness. He made the Final Four run. Just seeing how much life he brought to the guys and how much support he gave them. It's like, man, why wouldn't I want to play for a guy like that?
Yeah, it feels like you guys have a special relationship, and you have to do it quickly, obviously, in this modern world that we're in. You, last night, playing through a lot of injuries for Dusty and for your teammates, and I know you don't want to make excuses. I thought your halftime interview was spectacular. Yeah, listen, this is not what you said, but what I heard was somebody saying, I'm pretty fucked up right now. Okay, I am pretty I'm in a lot of pain. It's a national championship, okay? I'm not playing my best right now. I'm going to have to get that figured out for the second half, but this is not my best ball, but we need to go do this thing, basically, is what you said in different words, right? Correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, so ankle, knee, obviously a lot of injuries, and I'm sure there's people telling you, like, hey, if you want to think about the future, especially in the modern world for this all, can you tell me about, how anybody on your team, I would assume, would do the same exact thing that you're doing, and everybody on the team knew how banged up you were, I assume?
Yeah, man, they asked me so many times how I was feeling. I told them I felt like crap, and then... the boys just supported me the whole way, man, honestly. I know everybody on this team is going to sacrifice their body for this. We all don't care about the future. We're all going to live in the moment. We talked all year about getting the national championship. So, now that we're there, nothing's going to stop us, man.
Did you guys feel like you were a group of monstars with how tall you were? I mean, it was a problem. It was SWAT team. I mean, it was guard Haas. It was, yeah, right. You guys put a lid on it, basically, on the defensive end. Because offensively, I think you guys would assume that you weren't going to probably be able to put up 90-some against UConn going into the game? Or did you know the defensive end was going to have to be as important? How did you guys kind of think going into the game that the game was going to go?
Honestly, we definitely knew that defense was going to be a big part. They got a lot of good shooters on that team that can easily spark the offense. But man, we've been winning a lot of games because of our defense. Yesterday was pretty much another one of those games. We sucked on offense. Nobody can make a shot. I definitely wasn't helping the team at all offensively. So man, we just had to grind it out like we've been doing all season.
All right, let's talk about all season, shall we? Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Yaxel, how much did the Big Ten gauntlet prepare you guys for the tournament, where pretty much night in, night out, you're playing a ranked opponent? I think it was pretty evident that the Big Ten was the best conference in the NCAA this year. And then, in the tournament, up until the championship game, you guys kind of went belt to ass on everyone. Like, how much did it help you guys? That was a big one of his things. Yeah,
big pop from Yaxel.
That was a big one of his things.
You guys were talking about that, too, behind the scenes, what that tells us, but you didn't say it.
Yeah,
okay, go ahead.
Exactly.
Yep, right.
But how much did that prepare you guys after going through the entire Big Ten season and kind of taking everyone's best shot once you got into the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, the Big Ten, like you said, it was definitely the best basketball conference. Every game was a dogfight. You got to figure out ways to win. Iowa, they played a slow tempo against us. We like playing fast pace. They were super, super physical with us. That game went down to the wire. It was like, man, it's time for desperation. But, we still played through it, found a way to, kumbaya, I guess, and just get the win together. There was many games. Michigan State as well. Those guys, super physical team. Very, very aggressive on the glass. It was like, a bunch of dogfights, honestly, man. It was a really fun year, though. We learned a lot from those guys especially. And, we made the most of those moments, and it definitely helped us out in this tournament, just figuring out ways to win against different opponents.
Okay, so tell me about the past 12 hours for this trophy. What are Indianapolis, obviously, we're thankful that you will have this memory forever in our city. Thank you for coming here and putting on such a good show throughout the entirety of the Final Four. And, I mean, you guys just beat the hell out of them in the Final Four. It's kind of boring, actually. It's kind of like sending everybody home. Yeah. It's kind of like sending everybody home. But on that note, last night, did it feel like home? because that was 90% Michigan. When I walked in there, I did not expect it to be as Michigan as it was. Then I started putting math together. I'm like, it's kind of closer. It's definitely closer. And also, how much bigger is Michigan's alumni versus UConn's alumni? Michigan fans were going, have you felt that love? Obviously, we know Schefter was bopping around everywhere in there. But have you felt the love from the Michigan alumni, and did you feel it in the game last night?
Yes, absolutely. Everywhere we went, it definitely felt like a home game. No matter what, those guys show up big time. They're a big, big factor in why we kept winning games. We spoke about it before. Like, we went to Michigan State, and that felt like a home game. It's like you can't walk into many people's, gym and, take over like that. This is the best fan base in the world, honestly. I think we definitely had way, way more alumni support than UConn did last night. But, man, I really appreciate Michigan with everything. Man, those guys were the best.
Hell yeah. Speaking of Michigan, last question for you here from D-Bud.
Yeah, I know this is something that's been said. First of all, congratulations. I'm obviously a UConn alum, but hey, well-fought battle. Congratulations once again. Obviously, you guys have been talking about this being the best Michigan team ever. Got the 89 run with Glenn Rice, still holds all those records. The 91, 92, Fab Five didn't win it. Was that a lot of talk in that locker room for you guys to go down when you left to be the best team ever wore it?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially after that Vegas run, that's when it pretty much all started like settling in, and everybody started actually believing it. I think Elliott was the first guy to actually say it too. He said, like, man, like, this is unheard of. Like, we're the best team ever. And then, it just started to stick. We all kept talking about it. We all kept believing it. More and more wins came, and then it started to become a reality. I made the statement like 2-3 games ago. The Fab Five members said, we got to get the championship. We got it done. I'm waiting to hear what they think now, and then, I'll be able to run with it if they say we are.
Have you run into any of them? Because I think they were doing a watch-along.
Oh,
right?
they were, yeah.
Yeah, before the first game against Arizona, I met all of those guys, said what's up to them. They gave us a lot of support, man. Super, super high energy, but it was fun, man. I love those guys.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I love the way Michigan got a chance to flex their muscle again, and they certainly did. Mm-hmm. Football is going how it's going. Football might be in trouble.
Yeah.
Football might be in trouble.
But Natty has a recent memory.
Yeah. A couple years back, okay, Signetti's here.
Yeah.
Okay, just like the rest of the Big Ten with fucking Dusty. This guy's this big. He's going to dominate. Is that right? I mean, Dusty's going to dominate the Big Ten. This guy's unbelievable. It sounds like he's moving guys' furniture, into it while also coaching for him. It sounds like the Big Ten's in trouble for both these.
Yeah.
It's like good for Michigan coming out and showcasing like, yeah, we are still sports, all of them. And if you look at all the Olympic sports as well, Michigan's doing it. And if you win a national championship up there, I think there's never ending supply of like, hey, let's win some more of those. Go ahead, Con man.
Yeah. So thinking about the future now, not to turn the page, but obviously you're going to go to the NBA, be a first-round pick, all of those great things, but what is kind of the prep like now? Do you need to take a few weeks off from whatever the exact injury you had and played through yesterday? Like, what is kind of the process, and when does that kind of start leading up to the NBA draft?
Man, I definitely have to take at least 2 weeks, man. I'm beat. This has been a very long year. I need one vacation, just to relax my mind, man. It's going to be big off season for me. But after those 2 weeks, I'm going to start, to focus my mind on making sure that I'm right in the headspace physically, and just try to put myself in the best position to be drafted to the best team possible.
We appreciate the hell out of you for joining us. Congratulations on becoming a national champion forever, a legend in Ann Arbor forever, and I hope you guys enjoy every single second of it. These moments, only come a few times in life, so make sure you I don't have to tell you anything. Enjoy the hell out of it, man. Just know you're going to think about this and talk about this for the rest of your life. So it's a cool thing.
Absolutely.
And thank you for letting us be a part of it.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it, man. Go Blue, guys. Thank you.
Hey, go Blue, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Yaxel.
Yay, Yaxel.
Ty, I know you like them Iowa Hawkeyes basketball teams. I do fear. And, Signetti, Dusty make comparisons. Because the success that they've had as head coaches immediately upon being dropped in, I guess is okay. I think it is okay because of strictly that type of stuff. But it's like Indiana never in the history of, has it ever happened. Basketball for Michigan, they've had blurps, I guess, but only their second ever national championship. But it feels like both of them are only getting started. Signetti older, obviously, than Dusty. But Signetti has just now kind of put his culture in. Now, Dusty's going to be able to attract like-minded players and have the money to get whoever. It's like, that's problematic, I think, especially whenever you win. It's literally just your best recruiting tool to whoever you want to kind of bring in as a transfer. And Dusty May and Cignetti both just kind of super boosted their entire kind of run at their schools, because the biggest marketing you get, I don't know what this number is going to be. The numbers through March Madness have been outrageous.
Yeah.
Okay, the ratings have just been absolutely crazy. But every future transfer portal free agent, are we calling them free agents?
You might as well, man, that's what it is.
I'm about sick of saying transfer. I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The free agents, though, see all this shit,
Yeah.
you know, and they see the winning. They see how these guys are getting taken care of. Him talking about how he's moving furniture for the guy. Every interview that they do, it's like, he said, I was watching him go to the Final Four, and I was like, I want to play for that guy. He's just making the most out of everything. Everything's recruiting, and they have the money to back up all of it. So in the Big Ten, are the Iowa Hawkeyes going to be okay?
Well, here's the big difference. Who's the first team he mentioned in the Big Ten that kind of prepared him for the run in
Oh, yeah,
March?
he said Michigan State.
No,
No,
he said
that was
Iowa.
the second team.
He said Iowa because
McCollum.
Iowa lost to that team by 3. Okay? Ben McCollum took a bunch of guys playing in the Missouri Valley and took them to the Elite 8.
Oh, I forgot about Ben McCollum.
Yeah,
I am so sorry, Ben McCollum.
He's pretty fucking good as well.
I like McCollum.
But
I like McCollum.
that's the thing is like Michigan didn't all this like they've been getting top 100, top 50 recruits since the Fab Five. Like it never really stopped. Like Juwan Howard was a big selling point.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing, I mean, the transfer portal, they hit with that. Like I think in football and basketball, it's a little different. If you do what they did this year and you're relying on 5 transfers to be your starters, if one of those guys is a little bit of a shitbird or not who you expected him to be, like that can ruin the entire team. Whereas I feel like in football, you get a couple of these transfers, one of those guys doesn't, it's not the end of the world. It matters a lot more in basketball if that's the way you want to do it. Like, and that's a credit to Dusty May. He obviously made sure that these guys would work within the culture, but you never know. And then the transfer portal, you know, that you got a couple 5-star guys who came there who maybe didn't play as much, or those guys hitting the portal. Like it really does feel like, yeah, like they should be good next year, but I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan doesn't win another national championship for another 37 years or what. Like it's just so
crazy.
You have no idea. You have no idea how it's going to play out.
Yeah, and so many things line up to Ty's point. Like we remember, you know, this Michigan team as being a great transfer team. Remember Indiana, Ohio State football, you know, being great transfer teams. But like Florida State put how much money in to their football program, and then they completely collapsed. Like there are just as many, if not more, examples where you bring in a bunch of guys and then that team.
Wait a minute. You're saying that we're not covering the negative ones?
That's
not what we do.
Strictly
Turkey
recency
basketball.
bias. I think it's easy to, and let's make no mistake about it. Like it works when you bring in transfers and you have the coach at the top, Sig, Ben McCollum, Dusty May. When you have, I mean, Ryan Day, you can throw in there with Ohio State. When you have the guy at the top who can make sure all those transfers, you know exactly where they're at and everything. Cignetti just chewed out the number 1 transfer, Nick Marsh from Michigan State, for wearing gold cleats at practice. Like
You learn
those
quick,
types
you
of
don't
things.
do that around here.
Yeah, those types of things
It goes
is what
back to
really
that.
matters, you know?
What are those? Did you hit the fucking lottery? What color is everybody else's cleats? You look around. See that? What time? Get. That is
Like the old school coach thing.
such an old school
Yeah.
thing, and I think that's like his culture though.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I think he was surprised that the boys let him out of the locker room. I would assume that Sig does have a sense of
Like, whoa, whoa.
That's
hey, why did anybody even let this guy out of the locker room
Yeah.
wearing those cleats? Because that's what I talk about whenever I talk about like culture. Like I think people know that Sig's probably pretty stern. I think they know that he has success, but he's also a delegator of work. Sig is not normally very with the players. Normally it's coach. He's delegating to coaches, messaging, and then he's going around tightening up. I think if everything that we have been told is about it. He is definitely a very stern individual, but it's like him interacting with player. I don't know how often that happens or groups. I think he interacts with coaches, tells them what to do, and then they kind of go about it, and then he kind of works the whole thing. So him immediately going up to that guy, chewing him out and telling him it can't happen, I assume he got a little bit worried about the culture. I assume he got a little bit worried.
early.
a lot of his boys are all of his JMU guys are gone.
Yeah, we got to reset the precedent here. He's saying, holy hell, I didn't know we we're going to have to rebuild this thing from the gold, literally from the cleats all the way up. We have to redo this entire. And his answer was perfect. He was like, last year, 16 games, no losses. Hard to get better. You see, every game won. So how do you get better? That's going to be a tough task, but we got to get better in the process. We got to get better in the day. We got to get better in the workouts. We got to get better in these things. Saying you get better from an undefeated season, That's an impossible task. I don't know how you do that. That's real. People forget that they were undefeated.
Yeah.
Not just national champs. It's like there's only a few in the history that have gone completely from bell to bell and done it. And they thought it was impossible with the new expansion of the leagues and how long the tournament is and everything that you would have to get in NIL and how good teams are getting. They say, well, I think Coach Corso, who obviously we all have high respect for, I think he said that there will never be another undefeated team. I think he said that because the way the NIL and the transfer portal makes every team kind of good. Yeah. Like every team can steal a game or whatever. There's parity. And then instead, this Indiana team pulls it off somehow with a quarterback from Cal, which nobody really talks about. But I think like Sig and Dusty and these guys, they jumpstart their entire program, give it a and then all of a sudden now, hopefully the program can recruit itself as opposed to you having to sell what it is.
And that's, with Michigan too, like all it takes is just a little bit, because we know how their storied tradition, how much money they have available. So it's like, it is one of those things where, hey, they'll be there, but you can't let this kind of turn into a 5 years we haven't been worth a damn. Like, it kind of had to happen quickly. So kudos to him, because now obviously Michigan, not only football, but Michigan basketball, like everyone's back and they're excited for next year.
It's so year to year too, especially with basketball. You think about a team like Duke, like Schrager, obviously you're getting the top classes year in and year out. Arizona, like all these different big programs that have been around forever, getting these top classes, but get to the dance or get to the Final Four, don't get it done. That's why what Dan Hurley's been able to do. You like being in 3 in the last 4 years, like that's insane. And not, obviously you're getting transfers, but you have some guys who are staying there throughout to build that culture. Because when we talk about culture, just like you said with the locker room mates and the teammates, like usually those locker rooms are policed by the players. Like coaches, obviously they do things, they say things, they instill the game plan, but the best locker rooms, even on a pro level, are policed by the players. So having that culture, creating that culture with a bunch of guys, like, and that was a great question you asked me, like, when did you know? Because you bring a bunch of guys, yeah, we're all talented, but are we really a team? Are we really going to buy into the Michigan way or whatever being a Michigan man is? So, man, kudos to them actually getting it done and finishing the job.
Yeah, the best teams all get along. The best teams are all playing for each other. Now, granted, I think there has been some success with some assholes on a team.
Certainly.
Yeah, certainly in the past where people don't get along. But I think a majority of a team has to be able to get along for them to be good, because I think you just play better and harder for each other. And if you get a bunch of transfers, especially in basketball, because it's, could be considered a one-on-one sport, but 5 individuals out there having to come together, Bop and Wood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They had to bop Wood last night.
All at the same time.
That was something Dusty said, too. Like, a different guy kind of stepped up and kind of was that. He said, he just said it, like, I wasn't hitting shots last night, so a different guy stepped up. The 1989 team, it was Glenn Rice, Miami Heat legend, by the way, averaged 30 throughout the tournament. Obviously, you had.
I was wondering why you were pushing this 1989 team so hard. Because this guy was a
Heat legend.
I knew there was a narrative.
He has every record when it comes to NCAA tournament, every scoring record when it comes to it.
And who did he play?
All these years long.
Who did he play in the NBA for?
Miami Heat. He played for the Bulls too as well.
Charles Hornets as well.
I was going to say, you win any titles with the Heat?
Look, we're talking about college right now.
My bad.
We're talking college goats.
Yeah. But shout out them getting it done, man. Number 2 for Michigan. That's big.
I'm happy for them as well, even though they're going to be loud. They're going to be loud.
They weren't supposed to win in basketball.
That's Michigan State fan, Evan Fox. He gave you guys credit. Hey, those boys gave us a real fight.
That was really nice of him. When you grow up in the state of Michigan, Michigan is the football school, Michigan State is the basketball school, and now they have both, and I don't like it one bit, and it's not stopping anytime soon, and I blame NIL for that.
You blame NIL? Why don't you?
You got a $500 million NIL investment this year.
Yeah, look in the
We're
mirror.
On the way, I know, but still, it's Michigan, boys. We all know what that means.
It's that old man at the helm is the reason.
Michigan State has Acrisure. They have Ishbia.
Rocket Mortgage.
And they got the Dan guy from Cleveland, Rocket Mortgage.
Magic.
Little
Caesars.
Little Caesar? No, that's Michigan.
Draymond
Not
Green.
Michigan State. Draymond Green, I like the way he's acting, I think, in that new Punk'd episode.
Not sitting on $100 million cash. So
I like that he's about it, though, that he's about to fight a guy. And they're filming it all.
Cindy Geely, that was hilarious.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out who some people are whenever this all comes back. I think Anthony Davis is actually. There's been a lot of attempts at this. There's been a lot of attempts at a Punk'd-like show to return. Ashton had the run on it. I mean, it was good when it took over there, and you really got to see how some people would act and saw some people cry.
Oh yeah.
I can never be a fan. Like in situations where I'm like, hey, you shouldn't be crying right now. Like this is not sad. This is like a. This is a super adult situation here. Now, if they're crying because they're sad, I'm okay with. But some of these guys cried whenever just like, and I could never respect them again. Okay, and that was not good for them. Anthony Davis is doing it again, I think. I think he's bringing it out. And the clip I saw from Draymond Green was going to fight a guy. So it's like, hey, this guy is exactly who he says he is all the time. I am pumped up about that. And what if they just let him do it? What if that's the difference? What if they just let this guy ragdoll?
I think he would have took it. That actor,
that guy was incredible.
Incredible.
And that's really how those get good. Is you need the main actors who are going from place to place. Like those guys need to be elite.
What was that show? The jury show that they're relaunching?
Jury Duty. The second season is unbelievable. Yeah. Company Retreat, so good.
Yeah, those are. Joe Schmo was another version of this. There's a lot of really good, talented situations that could pop up. Joe Schmo show. The guy was from Pittsburgh. He was I think he was a landscaper from Pittsburgh, and he was the only one in the show, obviously reality show, that didn't know it was all a work. So and he somehow maintained not becoming morally corrupt. And they were putting him in situations one would go set up and say all right, I need you to do this for me. Just don't do this to this other person. Then the other person comes in immediately afterwards. Hey, I need you so bad. And he's, never once turned, this guy. Yeah, they ended up giving him I think $150,000, said he won the entire thing. But those situations could set you up to be in a nightmare sitch. I'm happy Anthony Davis is bringing it back. And LeBron, I guess, is also going to be involved. I've heard Draymond, LeBron, and AD real tight.
Yeah.
Then why did LeBron trade AD out of the Lakers?
Yeah, good question.
It's business,
Maybe they'll cover it in the episode.
It's business.
Context, please, whenever you quote me, please. That was a joke. I was making a joke of that whole thing. Speaking of a man who does not make a joke of anything.
No.
This guy is locked in.
Right down the middle.
Especially now. This is Super Bowl season. Yeah. This is where a man who happens to be friends with everybody in the NFL can really showcase what his brain can acquire and others cannot. Ladies and gentlemen, Emmy Award-winning host from Good Morning Football. Now, ESPN pundit, and I believe, he already does, Schrager, our host, and also the host of The Most Interesting Man in Sport, ladies and gentlemen, Peter Schrager.
Yay, Schrager!
Schrags, thank you for putting the tie outside the seatbelt. I think that makes it look a lot better. Thank you for joining us from the road and being nice and snug with that chair. Congrats on putting out your first mock. I know this is a big deal. I know it's a big deal. Schrags, you've talked about this on a couple shows already. Tell me what the big heat is from your mock draft. Is it no Ty Simpson in the first round? Has Orlovsky texted? Has any other GMs texted? What is really the heat from your first mock here that you've experienced?
Yeah, Pat, thanks for having me on. As always, my mock draft, I do two of them. One of them the first week of April, one of them a day before the draft. First week in April, we drop it. It's kind of like we're just putting it out there in the ether. And I get texts and responses from all the different executives around the league. They say, hey, this guy's too high. We would never draft that guy. What about this guy? And they help use that and the conversations that we've had at the combine and the league meetings and on my phone for the last several months into making the most accurate and the most closest to the pin mock draft right up until the actual draft. And I would say a couple things this week from this one here. Number one, Jordan Tyson going 9th to the Chiefs. The most polarizing pick in this draft. When I tell you I got a text from a GM who says, I am not sure Tyson even goes top 20. And then I had another text from a GM saying, wow, you think he drops all the way to 9? So you're talking about a guy who has a wide-ranging barometer of where other teams think he's going to go. I put him in Kansas City, and I do so because I believe Andy Reid and Brett Veach have shown a tendency to say, let everyone else worry about guys' health issues and guys off the field, whatever you might have concerns, their desires, all this stuff. Put them in our building. We will get the best players, and we will make the most of them. I love the fit 9 for Kansas City, but you better believe that one made some news. And then the Ty Simpson one. Yeah, Orlovsky texted me, and it was a real exchange this morning. I was not showing Dan up by putting Ty Simpson to no team in the first round by any means. But there are two things.
Isn't Dan kind of showing us all up, though, by telling us we're stupid? I mean, there's so many different angles for this entire thing, because we could put out the kind picture, too.
Yeah, Dan's is the worst angle.
Yeah, but on that note, Dan believes in it.
Peter.
Dan believes in it, though. So we need everybody to understand it. Dan believes this. I think what he was so upset about is people were saying he was getting told or forced an
paid to shill.
Yeah, he is not. He's saying, no, I'm willing to die for this. I literally believe this. That's, I think, was his big argument. But I do think you leaving him out of the first round was certainly a message to Dan Orlovsky. I will agree with Dan Orlovsky saying that was a little bit of a message. It felt like from old Peter Schrager.
Peter Schrager. I could have put him late first round and done some fictional trade in my head, but I'll be honest with you. Teams like Ty Simpson, there are only so many rooms at the inn. And what does that mean? Teams aren't going to draft a quarterback in the first round because, well, he's a good player if they have a quarterback and a quarterback they believe in. First-year GMs, first-year coaches are not drafting a quarterback unless they absolutely love them. The two teams that make the most sense are the Jets and the Cardinals. Ty Simpson's not going 2. He's not going 3. I don't think he's going 16 to the Jets. Those two teams have picks at 33 and 34. Do they maybe move up a couple spots to ensure they get him for a 5th year and they get him at the end of the first round? Fine. But at that point, we're kind of picking hairs at that one and saying, all right, well, if he goes 27 or 29 instead of 33 or 34 or 35, what's the difference? Here's the truth. I made a mistake 3 years ago. I didn't have any teams who liked Will Levis as a first-round pick, but everyone had been telling me that Will Levis is a first-round guy, and I did the mental gymnastics, and I put him in the first round, and I didn't feel great about it, and sure enough, he goes in the second round. Last year, I didn't have a single team that said we love Shedeur Sanders. I didn't have a single team that said Shedeur Sanders is a first-round grade in our mock draft. Yet everyone told me there's no way Shedeur leaves the first round from the outside. And I did the mental gymnastics, and I threw him to Pittsburgh at 21 and made the assumption that, well, there's no way he would actually fall out of the first. I decided this year, until I have a team that tells me we love Ty Simpson or we're going to take Ty Simpson, it doesn't do anyone any good just throwing him in there or making up a fake trade and saying, well, Arizona trades back and that. I don't have Ty Simpson in the first round. He could still be a great player. He could still be your first quarterback in your own, board. But to me, I right now do not have a place for him in the first round.
Okay, we respect that. We appreciate that. We'll see how it all shakes up. And obviously, we have no idea who's going to be right about any of this until 4 or 5 years down the road. That's what makes it so awesome.
Yep.
That's what makes it so fantastic. Let's stick with the draft before we pivot to NFL news. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Schrager, sleep with one eye open because Dano's coming. But aside from Mendoza at 1 to the Raiders, when you look at this board, who is kind of signed, sealed, delivered in your mind to a team? Is it Jeremiah Love at 4? I've seen a lot of Arvell Reese going actually 2 to the Jets. Is there any team or player you see on here like, yep, this is definitely where we're going to see him go?
No. And I know everyone's got Arvell Reese going 2 to the Jets. I've got David Bailey. That's from the latest information I've got, not necessarily directly from the decision makers of the Jets, but their philosophy. From what it seems like, they'd rather have the guy that's the more polished pass rusher at the moment, but it could still be Reese. There's still 3 weeks to go. But no, that's the beauty of this thing, and it is the first of 2 mock drafts. So we put this out there, teams start discussing, but I'm getting a lot of people saying there's no way Carnell Tate falls out of the top 10. There's no way Caleb Downs falls out of the top 10. There's a way. There's absolutely a way. I've been doing this a long time. And especially in the case of safety with Caleb Downs, who is beloved by everyone, everyone had Kyle Hamilton as a top 10 pick. He went 14th. Everyone had Derwin James as a top 10 pick. He went 18th. Safety is not traditionally a position that goes in the top 10. And for that matter, he falls to 12, and the Cowboys would be delighted to have him there. Conman, I got the New England Patriots taking an offensive guard at a Georgia Tech. Kalen Rutledge, and I have not seen in any other mock drafts. I got 2 texts this morning saying, screw you, Schrager. Why'd you put Rutledge in the first round? He's a guy on our board. I can't believe that's the beauty of this thing. So Kalen Rutledge, who I don't think has been on Mel Kiper or Field Yates or Matt Miller or any of these guys, Kalen Rutledge, I've got him in the first round. Everybody's mock draft is different. That's the beauty of this thing, and we're talking about it today.
What's his name? Is it Kevin Rutledge? Kalen Rutledge? Kellen Rutledge?
Kalen
Rutledge.
Kalen.
Okay. All right, Kalen. First round.
Kalen.
I like that. Interior offensive lineman. Linderbaum just got $30 million.
There you go.
The D tackles are starting to get a little bit more D-endy. So, whenever that starts happening, you got to protect the interior. Why not big guard going into first round? Why not a center maybe getting plucked up out there? And I also appreciate Schrags going, I'm mock draft hunting. I don't see a single fucking.
No Kalen.
You're telling me no offensive lineman's going to get drafted? Okay. All right. So, Schrags, we appreciate that. Let's pivot away from the mock draft because obviously there's so many things that could change, obviously, over the next 20-some days before we get to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. On April 23rd, the first round. April 22nd, we'll be in the Science Center with a lot of people welcoming, hopefully, everybody to Pittsburgh. Cannot wait for the draft in Pittsburgh. A football town, the football Dahn is going to show up in a big way, and obviously the next generation of NFL superstars are going to be launched into orbit as Roger Goodell daps them up and dreams come true. Let's go ahead. Let's talk.
I've seen you do a bunch of these commitments from these high school kids. I'd like to give my commitment video right now. Here I am sitting in the back of a car on the way to Bristol while I'll be doing television shows. I'd look for a hat that has a P on it. I am committing to being at the Cayman Center. I will be at the Football Town premiere. Let's go.
Wow.
Yeah, Schrager.
Holy hell, Schrager.
Congratulations.
Are you what are you doing for the draft? Do we know what that is yet? Are you doing our show?
I am very much hopeful that you will have me on your show.
Oh, let's do it here. Let's do it now. We'll do a commitment. We'll do a
Sign it.
commitment.
Yes.
We would like to officially
Get
sign.
our P hats on.
Yeah, we got our P hats on. We'd like to officially sign Peter Schrager to the Draft Spectacular.
Hell yeah.
We appreciate you, Pete. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's good news. We'll put you in a trailer. You and this man, actually, one half of the Hammer. Dahn, Cowboys, AP Tone. We talk about the interior offensive linemen. That's because the interior D linemen have gotten so much more athletic, powerful, and disruptive. Speaking of one of them, a very sexy one. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Schrager, I'm pumped to hear that. That was the best night of my life. I'm excited to be back in the trailer with you. Let's talk about your New York Football Giants and sexy Dexy Lawrence, who is now... He wants out, but apparently. You are very familiar with that organization. Do you think this is posturing, leveraging, or do you think this is something that may actually happen before this NFL season happens?
Well, it's very real. It is very real in that when Dexter Lawrence signed his contract extension a few years ago, he was one of the highest paid defensive tackles. He's now the 12th highest paid defensive tackle. And there are players like Milton Williams and Jordan Davis who have done nothing near what Dexter Lawrence has done, who are be paying significantly more. The problem is he's got 2 years left on his deal, and he's 28 years old, and he's looking at other guys who he was teammates with, named Saquon Barkley and Julian Love and others, Leonard Williams, who just never got the money that they thought they deserved from the New York Giants. And he's like, just get me out of here. The interesting part is the Giants do have the leverage right now because he's got 2 years on his contract, and really they can just sit on it and say, and we'll listen to phone calls, but unless you're going to sit out and miss 2 years, like, we have the rights to you. Fact of the matter is this: it's been a very, very contentious last 2 years between Dexter Lawrence and the New York Giants. Dexter Lawrence's agent is Joel Siegel, one of the top agents in all of football. He is not one to be messed with. Just like Mugoleta that we said last year with Parsons, like Joel Siegel will advise Dexter Lawrence to take this all the way down to the wire, and let's see where this goes. So John Harbaugh is speaking with the media today, and I think it'll be fascinating to hear what he says, because this could be one of those where you're like, my first big move, my first moment of adversity here with the Giants, hell, I'll trade Dexter Lawrence. You don't want to be here? You don't want to be on this boat? Let's get out of here. Let's see what else we can get, because you better believe when Dexter Lawrence is at his best, he is still one of the best defensive tackles in football despite missing some time with injury last year.
Yeah, let's send him to Indy. Bring him out here.
That'd be great, actually.
Yeah, we like to do the sexy Dexy all over Indianapolis. You know, sexy Indianapolis would be an entire thing. Everybody would be doing the dance instead of we'd all be.
Yes.
Yeah. We're ready to do it out here.
Yeah.
Sexy Dexy, I don't know what you need to be paid, but I'm sure they can find it in the bowels over here in Indianapolis. There's a lot of people thinking that. Because if you watch playoff football, and we've talked about it a few times now, especially with you getting Kalen to go up to the Patriots, it's like the two guys in the middle. These freaks are just outright their problems. You know, it used to be like these three guys will be able to handle these two. We got to worry about the outside. Now the outside guys have become the inside guys, and vice versa. And it's just 4 ones trying to get home. And when the playoffs happen, if you have that, you're going to win. Because then you got 7 people, hopefully 14 eyes. Okay, If a one-eyed guy makes it in the NFL and plays linebacker or defensive back, I will be very impressed. But if you have 14 eyes on the quarterback with 4 guys getting home, that's a big deal. So Dexy would command, I think, a lot of respect on the market. They're saying end of first, top of second, whatever the case is. I think somebody would definitely send that. I'm excited to see what Harbaugh does, Schrags. Now let's stay with the Giants. Is Odell Beckham Jr. playing for the Giants or what? Because Jordan Renan, okay, I heard a clip where they were talking, him and his co-host, looked like a gentleman.
Yeah.
The guy looked like an absolute gentleman as well. He was handsome. And at the end of the clip that they were judging from our show, because I was complimenting how good Jordan looked on that parking lot, which he did.
So cool.
So cool. Sunglasses on, hair perfect. He did the entire walk-in. And then at the end of the thing, I said, Odell Beckham Jr. maybe going to be a Giant again. I got mocked and ridiculed immediately. I was complimented.
The hell's that about?
That's not happening, they said. That was a clip I saw. That's not happening? Should we rule that out, or are we going to, are we just going to continue to feed? Go ahead.
Feed the beast. Feed the beast. I wouldn't rule it out. He'll be asked about it today, Harbaugh. Look, it's one of those where I said at the league meetings, there's no timetable from the Giants' standpoint. They could sit on this until July, August, but Odell wants to come back to football, and he did meet with the Giants while he was there because he lives in Arizona and he was at the league meetings. And Harbaugh did openly say that this is one of his favorite players and people of all time. And I've said it before, and I will say it again. When I say that ownership and the ownership's family has a place in their heart for Odell Beckham, and one of the regrets is how things ended with Dave Gettleman shipping him off to Cleveland, and how that relationship ended is a great regret of the Giants organization. That's real. I believe that a homecoming for Odell Beckham is very much in play, and it just might not happen on everyone else's timetable. Just stay tuned. That's all I would say.
Ooh, that's a tease from Schrager.
Yeah.
I got some bones coming. All right, Schrags, let's go back to your mom. Okay, your face is frozen in a couple. That's something great. That's some of the greatest for you. Yeah. Hey, when you're traveling in a van, you got to be very careful about the aggressiveness of the facial expressions, because you just got there. Yeah, big one. Yeah, people are going to do stuff with that.
Yeah.
But what's coming out of that mouth, fantastic. I will say that. Obviously, at the moment, good luck to OBJ and the Giants and OBJ wherever he ends up if it's not the Giants. Let's talk about your mock draft that obviously carries into NFL team talk. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, Schrags, whenever you look at the draft, you're thinking about, obviously, the teams as they are constructed. And you have Makai Lemon mocked to the Rams. Now, the Rams have had a lot of success drafting receivers in the later Rams, Cooper Kupp, Puka. Obviously, Puka's dealing with some things right now. We're rooting for you, Puka. Is that tied together, Makai Lemon and Puka? And obviously, we expect Puka to get paid at the top of the market.
No. In fact, this is Puka non-related. This is more Matthew Stafford related, and getting him another weapon for his final, potentially last dance with the Rams. Makai Lemon is everything Les Snead, Sean McVay, and wide receivers coach Eric Yarber love. He is tough as nails. He has never met a center of the field that he doesn't like. One of these guys that is just absolutely a dog, and his 40 time is not electric compared to some of the others. In fact, I think, NFL.com has all the athletic scores on it. I believe he's the 33rd ranked wide receiver as far as athleticism goes. But when it comes to productivity, he's number one. Well, I look at the other wide receivers. Devontae Adams, it's a 4.5 40. Puka Nacua, 4.5 40. Makai Lemon would be the perfect addition to that offense. And I just know what McVay looks for. It's toughness, it's grittiness, and it's a guy who can make plays in traffic. To me, Makai Lemon to the Rams makes a ton of sense, especially if we're going all in and we're pushing our eggs to the middle of the table, our chips to the middle of the table, and we're saying, let's go win this one for Stafford.
Easter eggs, obviously, is what you're talking about, Schrags, and, you got to do that. And then chips in, we're going all in. Makai Lemon, obviously, USC and LA Rams right there, natural tendency. They probably know each other well. And I do like the fact that McVay, whenever he's looking for a wide receiver, he's just looking for a guy who plays like him. Yeah, you might be a little faster. You might be taller. You might have better hands. I just need you to play like how I played. Okay, I need you to put your face directly into the middle of a fan if you have to. All of the players Cooper Kupp won the Triple Crown plus the what was the fourth one?
It was Yak.
Yards after. Yak. He won the yards, touchdowns, receptions, and then he also had Yak. So it's not just the Triple Crown. He had like the quadruple.
The quad crown?
Kingdom, I don't know, whatever it was. It's more than a crown what he earned. But he would go across the middle. I mean, we're talking about doing this. Puka is a hard ass. That's why. Now, granted, T's and P's to Puka from everybody.
Root for you.
I don't know if you have
Can I
TV
just
on.
Can I chime in on Puka? That wasn't supposed to be public. It obviously gets reported.
Yeah, I hate
And
we're taking
everyone-
pictures coming out of that. Like that, we're not exploiting. This is a massively,
kind of crappy.
Yeah, yeah.
I would also note, like, the Rams have been in full contact with Puka. This is a very mature decision by him to do this, and the hope is that this is just take a couple weeks and then we'll figure things out and just get well. And I think also we always laugh about people always say, like, well, what's Big Dom do? What's Big Dom do? One of the things Big Dom does in Philly, and every team has a guy, is like, let's keep our guys out of those situations and let's try to get our guys to realize when things are going a certain way. Like, that's an important role in all these teams, and the Rams have their individuals who do that. And this was a big discussion, and I thought it was really mature of Puka, who, by the way, is living the high life, is in LA, is the most lovable guy in the world. You guys have had him on, like the best, the most charismatic dude, has no enemies, is like truly. This is a big decision, and I hate the fact that it's been treated like he's got some, he did something terrible or that he's in trouble. It's not. This was a very voluntary thing, and Puka Nacua showed a lot of maturity in doing so.
Yeah, in a fishbowl, certainly, and we would like to let Oos know that we love him. I have no idea if he's able to watch this or not. I hope he sees it. Hey, Puka, we love you, buddy. And we understand this because we've been I've been through this situation a lot with a lot of friends. You can tell somebody or suggest something as much as you want. It's not until the person makes the decision to do it that it's ever going to actually happen. So Puka deciding to do this in this moment, I think he understands what's at stake. I understand he knows what next chapter could be, and I'm incredibly proud of him as well. I think that is a big decision, and he'll do well. Stick to it just like you stick to everything else, Puka. The world needs you, brother. We need you out here. You are a phenomenal human in society. Now, on that note, you are too, Schrags, but we're coming up on a hard out. I don't love it, but it seems like we have to get rid of you. Safe travels up to Connecticut. We'll see you in Pittsburgh at the Draft Spectacular.
Yes.
I'll be there on the carpet, my friend. Thank you, sir.
You're the best, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Schrager.
Yay, Schrager.
Okay, so that's the move. I always wondered, okay, let's say I happen to be in suit.
Sure.
With tie. Other suit gets in car with me. I'm in the back seat, we'll say.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I certainly have the seatbelt on all the time. Mm-hmm. To impress other suit, I take tie out from under seatbelt, put it on outside of seatbelt, and then do I flatten sport coat so it's almost like it's getting pressed by the seatbelt? Is that the move for the suits?
I always take the jacket off before I get in and put the seatbelt on.
And then what do? Throw it over the seat? Because I hate to hang on the window. It's tough out there, I guess. I think he killed it. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Hour 2 on the other side. Goodbye.
What is he doing?
You might wonder why I'm here, why I just kicked Cody Rhodes directly in the balls. About a month ago, I was doing a Q&A, and I was asked when I was going to return to the WWE, and I said that I thought the business had passed me by. This business that I loved since I was a kid, I could no longer watch. I thought it was absolute shit. Randy called me. He said the business didn't pass you by. It's just gone in a direction that none of us like. And I thought to myself, who's us? Randy Orton? And he talked about the forgotten WWE fan, the Attitude Era fan, the one who woke up thinking to themselves, what? The ones who walked around and said, if you smell. The fans that put this company on their back to launch it into the multi-billion world universe that it is now. We've been forgotten about. Why? When I turn on WWE TV, I have to watch 2 5'5" guys do a 45-minute Iron Man match 10 weeks straight for no rhyme or reason when Randy Orton is around. Why do I turn on Netflix and I see all of Gorilla circle jerking themselves episode after episode after episode when Randy Orton is around. Tickets to WrestleMania are still somehow available when Randy Orton is around. And SmackDown, fresh off the worst rated episode of all time, has a puppet for a champion, a man that represents everything that we hate. What I'm saying is, Cody, I'm the one on the phone telling Randy Orton he needs to kill everything. And it's not just for the 15th world title. It's because the business that you're leading is terrible. And he is gonna save the fucking business.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pig!
damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this National Champion Tuesday, April 7th, 2026, hour 2 of the program begins now. Sports are the greatest. We're so incredibly lucky that we get a chance to chat about them. The Michigan Wolverines are your new national champion. Woo! They had their one shining moment last night.
It's a good song.
I don't like it.
What?
I don't like it.
The song?
I'm going to say it.
Or Michigan.
I like the Michigan one. I'm happy for Michigan. I think they were a deserving team. I think they beat the hell out of everybody. I think they played great hoops throughout the entirety of it all. They had to play a different style in the national championship. They did. They won. I like that Michigan won. I hate that it's one shining moment.
Yeah.
I hate that it has to be that song. I know there's going to be people that are so mad with me saying that.
It's a little dated.
But you're telling me if that wasn't T.I.'s Let 'Em Know on that thing, recap of March Madness last night, that thing wouldn't have banged? Okay, I understand the one shining moment is what we have to kind of do every year because it's tradition, and college is built off of tradition. Can we get an alternate as well? Can we get another heater of a promo? Because March Madness is spectacular. This thing has been beautiful. A sport that don't get to watch nearly as much throughout the regular season, becomes my full attention throughout a run where, no names can become legends and schools that we've never heard of can become known. Is that going to happen anymore? We don't know. But what we do know is that the Michigan Wolverines will be etched in stone as the champions of the 2026 NCAA basketball season. The Talks Table at Boss Connor and at Ty Schmitter here. Big Ten wins again, Ty.
Yeah, no surprise there. We kind of have talked about this for months now, how the Big Ten is the premier sports league in the nation. And now I'm just kind of feeling it for, guys like Brett Yormark and Greg Sankey and all these other conference commissioners who are going to keep, kind of pounding the drum that, hey, our league deserves more teams in, more bids, et cetera, But the reality is, and they know it, they're kind of just playing for second place and everything. So I can imagine why that would be tough.
I don't love the stat that Hembo sent in because Sankey's going to hate this too. And our friends down in the South aren't going to love this. And I love SEC culture.
Sure.
I love the SEC atmosphere. Not all of them love me. So I'm letting you know, this is me loving something that is an unrequited love.
Yeah, unrequited.
There it is, unrequited love with them. So I appreciate the SEC, but we've been talking about the North. I've been talking about it since the beginning. Okay, I've been talking about it since the beginning. You give I know a lot of these people. I'm from Pittsburgh. I mean, Penn State is right there. It's one of the biggest things. I know a lot of Ohio State people. We live in the middle of Big Ten country. They all have a little bit. Every one of them has a little bit of money. then obviously there's more than a slew of them that have a shit ton of money. And all of them are being told they can help sports. All of them feel cool if they're helping sports. All of them want to help sports. And just having the moment of getting to go down to the locker room afterwards and dap up the boys is enough for some of these guys and women who are in these very high positions of power and money to go, yeah, I'll give $5-10 million to go ahead and do this, just for that moment with their kids who are potentially in school there, because there's a lot of generational shit going on. It's like the Big Ten has that everywhere.
Yes.
And I'm not saying the SEC doesn't, because obviously the SEC is going to continue to have success. But 4 consecutive college football games, college football playoff games against the SEC, the Big Ten. 5-0 versus the SEC in the 2026 basketball tournament. And then UCLA women beat 2 SEC teams in the route to their national championship. Remember, UCLA, part of the North now.
Yeah.
Yeah, always have been.
Part of the North.
Always have been.
Part of the North.
UCLA, USC, Oregon.
I mean, that's just Big Ten.
Yep.
North, that's kind of how the North just kind of goes.
Exactly.
Now.
The right side.
It's crazy. We didn't decide it.
Didn't make the rules.
But Petitti's walking into these conversations now.
Man.
Oh, hey, Sankey, good to see you, man. Man, our relationship 4 years ago is vastly different than it is now, isn't it? Yes, it is. And Sankey's going, we got to get this back to what, right? And Petitti's like, actually, we have a couple clauses we would like to add to some of these. It is crazy how the power struggle is kind of going right now. Obviously, those two are going to continue to do that. But don't look at the Big 12. I mean, they're going to continue to try to build in this entirety. I think college sports is going to continue to grow because of the investment. But there's going to be maybe a new lay of the land, and it's already starting to turn a little bit in the sports world. One half of the hammer down. Cowboys AP tone. Lay of the land is sportsbooks beat our ass normally. That's kind of how it goes. But it feels like Big Ten against SEC. Feels like a little bit of a run right now for the North.
Yeah, it's definitely a run. Obviously, you have the trifecta of champions the last 3 years in college football. Then you have basketball, and then you have wrestling. And I believe, I thought I saw the Washington, one of women or men's, one soccer. So absolutely done right now.
Big Ten has the number 1 baseball team in the country.
I like that you tried to shoehorn the Big 12 in there. That was hilarious.
Big 12's coming. Big 12's coming.
They run rifle.
Yeah, we run rifle.
You're right.
Our baseball team's good. Cody Campbell still exists.
Yeah, he's doing it.
Yeah, he still
That's
exists.
1 out of 16.
And they got embarrassed by Oregon in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I forgot.
We're coming. You guys just there's different levels to the climb.
Up and up.
Trust the climb.
Who's got the college basketball crown right now?
Who does?
West Virginia Mountaineers.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. I already forgot about that. I need to remember that whenever you're talking out of pocket about the Big 12. Both of you. Okay.
I did.
Listen, I love it. I'm adopted by the Big Ten. I love it. I've never been happier in my life.
Me too. I'm a Big East guy. I'm pulling for the Big Ten. But on that note, Big East loser last night. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler.
Yep.
Hey, baby, D-Bot.
3 or 4 years, we got 2. In the last, obviously, 4. So, first
Sweet
first
hat.
one for the Big Ten in
26
26 years.
So, pump the brakes. We got 3 in football, obviously, but SEC dominated for a while here. We'll see. We'll see how they sustain the success that they're having.
Where'd you grow up? Where'd you grow up at?
South Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you guys doing good down there in the South. Things are happening down there.
Miami, number 1 recruiting class.
Oh, wait, did you?
Trying
They're
to get
gonna.
there.
ACC.
That's gonna continue.
Coach Candle,
Did you lose the national championship in football and basketball?
Well, no, football,
T-Bot.
I'm a fan. The basketball, I'm an alum.
So, yes, the answer is
I
yes.
lost in basketball.
I heard you were pouting last night.
You were pouting a little
Big
bit?
time pouting.
How far did you have to walk to get the Uber?
I walked the Gumpy spot.
Oh, you just walked straight
probably
to his place.
I went to his place. Me and Bruce.
It's a good idea.
Boom.
Become a downtown boy. Foxy had to walk 2 miles last night after the stadium. He went the
Yeah, it
wrong
was
way.
far.
Yeah, he walked the wrong way.
Oh,
He
jeez.
went out there.
Well, that was the
Michigan
Uber
State stuff,
pickup
too?
spot.
Nah,
I didn't get it.
You got to go to the backside, brother. Now, there was some interesting turns where I was headed, but yeah, you got to do what you got to do. It was great. Thank you to Indianapolis. Shout out to Indianapolis. A man who was at that is joining us, but not first, ladies and gentlemen. A former national champion representing the Big Ten, a Ryder Cup winner, a legend of a human, A.J. Hawk is here.
Yeah.
Hawker, the Big Ten kind of just rubbing it in everybody's face, it feels like at this point. Michigan, or as you like to say, a team above us, and Michigan, and all those things. What are your thoughts on last night's game and the Big Ten being as dominant as it is, and potentially Dusty May and this Michigan basketball team running this thing forever in the Big Ten?
Yeah, Michigan, I feel like UConn ran into an absolute juggernaut. Like, what are you going to do? This Michigan team, watching from the jump, and you guys already talked about on the show, when they would chase down and swat dudes, every time anyone in UConn went to the hoop, you had to worry about 5 dudes flying in and ending your life and swatting the ball and then taking it and going the other way. So Yeah, credit to Michigan, man. They played so hard. They're so. I love him as a point guard too, man. How like confident he is and in control of the game. Like he does such a good job, and obviously he was great on the program as well, coming 10, 12 hours after the win right there.
Yeah, Yaxel was incredible. Point guard said something hilarious.
Cadeau,
there it is.
Yeah, Cadeau.
His post-game interview, he was made for the moment. I mean, it was spectacular. Another man that should have been on the microphone immediately after Michigan won is prestigious alumni of the Michigan Wolverines. I assume he's digging into those deep pockets of his to supply the football team and the basketball team and the Olympic sports. Ladies and gentlemen, senior insider for the NFL at ESPN, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Schefter.
Oh, no.
Hello, guys. Hey, how you doing?
Where are you right now? So what's going on here?
I'm in Bloomington for the taking my daughter around here.
Okay, so hold on. You're on a tour at IU right now, south of Indianapolis?
Well, you celebrated Michigan National Championship. Michigan's a basketball school, and Indiana's a football school. Who came down to a football school today. And, this was a week, listen, it's her spring break. I was taking her around to colleges. We were supposed to see a bunch of schools down south, Pat. And when Michigan was in the national championship game, we pivoted and we rearranged the college visit schedule. So now we are in your neck of the woods. And these people love you down here, Pat. They talk about how nice you are to them.
Oh, that's very kind of the people down there in Bloomington. I like them as well.
Yep.
They've been kind to us. They make me look like a genius whenever they win. I like the fact that you were going to go to the South. Now you're staying in the North. See, this
that's
goes,
the problem. This
goes to the
right
conversation.
Take the talent.
Michigan wins the national championship. All of a sudden, it's like, you know what, future students, let's stay in the North, actually. Yeah. We could bear the cold a little bit. The spring will come even better whenever you're getting through a massive winter. Let's talk about you getting a pop last night on the Jumbotron. How did it feel to get recognized by your peers? And let's talk about Dusty May in this Michigan Wolverine basketball team, who obviously win the second national championship in your school's history. How do you feel in this moment? Obviously, you're incredibly excited. And did it feel good to get a pop from the Michigan alum? I think that probably made you feel pretty solid about life in the moment.
That totally caught me off guard. I was not expecting that. Like, I'm sitting there with my son and my daughter and some college friends, and I look up and I'm like, I didn't know what to do with that initially, to be honest with you. Like I said, I was so surprised. So I just kind of was caught off guard. And then I said, okay, let's give it a little fist pump, a little go blue action. And that's what we did. We got into it, and the fans were very nice. And Dusty, you brought up Dusty. We were fortunate enough to go to the post-game celebration, second floor of the Marriott, which, by the way, is the hotel. The last time that hotel celebrated a champion, the New York Giants stayed in that hotel when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. And Mario Manningham caught that great pass from Eli Manning. They were in that hotel. We were in that hotel last night, which is where I took that picture with Dusty. And he's a great coach, a special guy. Got to visit with his wife last night, saw him, congratulate everybody. And it was a special night for the program. Pat, I was a senior at Michigan in 1989 when they won the national championship in basketball. And 37 years later, we were there, like in Seattle, me and my college roommates. And 37 years later, to be in Indianapolis with my son and daughter this time, and to experience it the way it was a memorable night. That team was such a gritty, tough team. Dusty did an incredible job. So many great players, and I salute them. And they gave the Michigan fan base another one of those nights that we experienced 37 years ago that you don't ever forget.
I love to hear that. 90% of the crowd last night I thought was Michigan. It felt like it experienced that, and the way they're playing defense, it was obviously an electrifying environment for the national championship. A lot of the celebrations and the chants that you guys do, I did like. You go blue, go blue. We did a lot of this stuff. A lot of fist to shoulder, straight up in there. You know what I mean? Which is pretty good. I saw some chants at a hockey game. I think we don't.
Dallas Stars.
I think there was something. We don't need to talk about that, but it was nice to see the Michigan Wolverines fans get a chance to celebrate. A few years back, obviously, a football national championship. A lot has happened since then, almost like completely out of the sports conversation in a positive way. This team certainly provides that. Can you explain just a little bit before we move to NFL as you do your tour around IU? I've had this take for a few years now. I would like to say I've been on the record of saying this for a few years now. I think the North in the NIL era is going to be in a better spot than the South, okay? Because in the North, all these people that weren't sports people that went to these business schools and these state schools and these, law, doctor, dentistry, all this shit that pays a good amount of money, a good amount. Not even the super duper wealthy, just like college educated, good amount of money. They're being, hell yeah, look at him, he's cheesing right now, thinking about they can all give to the sports teams and feel like they're a part of it. Michigan certainly is benefiting from that, but it's also, all the Big Ten feels like that's happening. The school you're at right now, I think there's a family, I don't know, Cook family?
Yeah, Cook or Coke.
Cook or Coke family in Bloomington that started like a plastics or a medical company or something like that. They're the massive donors because they can help. Can you talk about that a little bit in the Big Ten? And maybe the Big Ten runs wild forever and maybe Michigan and their basketball team can do this forever?
I can't say that I'm as familiar with it as other schools, other than I can say that Michigan has had so many successful alumni, and it's such a big alumni base that there are a lot of people that want to help out, and there are a lot of people that have helped out. And so it doesn't surprise me that Michigan might have the money that it takes in a day and age like this to spend on players. I mean, that's what this has become, right? Spending on players, and the transfer portal opened at midnight this past night, and so Michigan wins the national championship. I can't even imagine what that would be like. You achieve this crowning glory moment, and then Dusty and the program, they got to go recruit people and go try to replace these players that they're losing that are going to go onto the NBA draft right now.
That photo right there is a very good recruiting tool, though. I think the Michigan basketball culture was on full display, both during the tournament, but also all the interviews. I think they potentially now know the type of guys that they want. We want the tallest, most athletic guys. That's what we want, the tallest, most athletic guys. I thought Dusty May was maybe super duper tiny guy. I didn't know that. Then you look at the team, the roster, they're all giants.
Huge.
That team is just a bunch of giants. It was a special run, Schefter. We're thankful you came to our city and our state to enjoy it. Congrats to you. We're pumped for Michigan. Let's move to the NFL now. Dexter Lawrence potentially getting traded. What's the reality of that? Because Schrager says the Giants don't really see, it's like, all right, we got him for 2 years. We don't have to pay him anywhere near top 5 market value, which is probably what he is expecting, at least at this stage. What do you think the actual chances of movement are, or are we waiting to see what happens with the draft with teams?
Well, I can tell you this, that there are a good half dozen teams. I spoke to some of them yesterday. They reached out after this came public, and there's definitely going to be some interest in him. Now, whether something materializes or not, we don't know. But look, you can go through the history of this. When there are players that are not happy with their contractual situation and ask for a trade, those situations don't always work out the way that you'd want. And so the Giants are going to have to handle this one way or another, you would think. Either the guy is going to have his contract modified in some way to where he's happier, because this has gone on now for the last 2 years, and I don't think he was particularly happy last year, or there's going to be a team that steps up and makes an offer that's compelling enough for them to consider to move on from Dexter Lawrence. Like, it's one or the other. Status quo, I don't think works in this particular case. And so Dexter Lawrence, I think, was frustrated last year. I think teams are now on alert that maybe they could try to make a push to see if they can acquire him. And it'll be up to the Giants to figure out what's best for their franchise, to what they want to do, whether they want to modify the contract, revamp it in some way, or whether they would get an offer that's compelling enough for them to even entertain the idea of moving him. I know that they say that they'd like to re-sign him, but the fact of the matter is the two sides haven't made much, if any, progress the past 2 years. So we'll see.
Sounds like we got a Trey Hendrickson situation brewing over there for the Giants with another D lineman. You said half dozen teams are certainly interested in Dexter Lawrence. If that heats up any more, we would assume more teams would be interested in what the deal would have to look like if you were to trade, because obviously if you trade for Dexter, you'd have to give him a new deal. How much money is he projected to have? We'll certainly go to SpoTrack and see what that is, but a lot of teams would want Dexter Lawrence if Dexter Lawrence was openly available. I guess we kind of wait for the draft. Now, let's talk about a quarterback that would be pumped to hear Dexter Lawrence get the hell out of the NFC East. Go ahead, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, Schefter, what about Jaylen Hurts and that whole situation? We hear the rumblings. I believe Jeff McClain had the report saying that he almost has to come out and prove that he's going to improve before they think about an extension for him. Like, where are we sitting right now with Jaylen Hurts and the Eagles?
I think it's an important season for Jaylen Hurts coming up. Let's not forget, this guy did win the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And I know that there are questions that have come out this offseason about what he is and isn't doing. in the huddle, at the line of scrimmage, audibling plays, not audibling plays, whatever it may be. I still think the guy's been a successful quarterback. Now, the contract looms as an issue. It doesn't sound like they're doing anything anytime soon. That makes it an important year for him, like it is for any player that is headed into a year where he has to prove himself. And with the quarterbacks, there's always so much money on the line. They're going to want to see something from him this year, and I think he's going to be determined to come in and show that he's worth some sort of adjustment on his own with his contract.
I'll tell you, Jaylen having to go to another team and have success would be a good little story arc for Jaylen Hurts. Obviously, he ends up going to Oklahoma, at the end of his college career, does his thing there, comes into the NFL, wins a Super Bowl, maybe has to rewrite another chapter at another place. Because there would be teams, obviously, that'd be signing up for the Jaylen Hurts experience at quarterback quick. Yeah. Every single offseason we see quarterbacks get offers or teams get interested in a quarterback that we couldn't have expected. No offense to this man, because I think it's a perfect fit in Las Vegas, which actually leads to the next question we're going to ask. But Kirk Cousins signed for like $130 million guaranteed one offseason. Yeah. And we were like, holy shit. Kirk Cousins is getting $130 million at this stage. And obviously, you look around the contracts now, every team would say that's a good deal on a quarterback at this stage. So Jaylen Hurts would certainly have a market. There's always teams that need quarterbacks. We talked about Kirk Cousins. Let's go to Las Vegas. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, Las Vegas, we assume they're going to take Fernando Mendoza, number one. I saw from your X account, he will not be attending the draft in Pittsburgh. Last number one pick that didn't attend is Trevor Lawrence. What went into this decision, I guess, that you know about for Fernando?
Well, walking around here with a bunch of the IU people, we're talking about it, and Fernando's a big family guy, and it's important for him to be with his family at the draft. And so the easiest way for him to be around all the family members that he wants to be around is to watch it in Miami. And so the NFL called him. I think the NFL made personal pleas to him to attend the draft. But Fernando Mendoza, as much as he would have liked to have been there, it was just more important for him and more practical for his family to be in Miami. And so that's his decision. He won't be there. And I think, it's disappointing. You'd love to have the number one overall pick in the draft at the draft. But that's just not going to be the case this year. And he's visiting today with the Raiders. I fully expect that they'll pick him number one overall. He'll go number one and continue his magical year. But he's just not going to be there in Pittsburgh. We'll have to keep the seats warm for him there. Everybody here will have to keep those seats warm to make sure that the draft goes on without him.
I respect the decision. I remember going all the way back, like Joe Thomas had the most legendary when he was out on a fishing boat, I think, out in the middle of nowhere. Correct. Offensive lineman getting drafted so high, not going. Nope, you can come film me out here if you want to do that. I'm going to go fish. I respect it. Now, granted, there's only like 30 guys a year that really have to make a decision on whether or not you want to go to the draft room. You never want to be there when you're not drafted, though.
Correct.
So, that's a party that you don't want to be at if an NFL team doesn't want you on their team early in that draft. That's a bad spot to be.
Oh, yeah.
That's maybe worst spot on earth. Yeah. Maybe worst spot on earth to be.
It happens every year. The league does a great job at inviting the players that usually go in the first round. But every now and then, somebody doesn't, and they make it to the second day. Like, I happened to be spending some time with Geno Smith a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about that exact scenario where he was invited. A lot of people thought he would go in the first round, like they thought Shador might go in the first round last year. Geno didn't go, and a lot of people leave. And to Geno's credit, he stuck around, and he got drafted early the next day. I think it was the Jets that drafted him in the second round that year. And so every player faces this decision. They have to do its best, but some people leave when they don't go right away, and you can see their hopes and dreams are crushed momentarily. Some people make the best of it. Geno made the best of it. Fernando's just not going to go. He'd just rather be with his mom and dad.
AJ, did you go?
No, I was at home.
Respect.
Why not?
There's a lot going on at the time, believe me. I was running around doing all those 50 visits that you had to do, and I was actually still in school at the same time. So I was like, nah, if I get a weekend, I'm going to hang out at home for
Want me to leave Ohio?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a Buckeye through and through.
Okay.
The only place I'm going is to whoever draft me. I'm not going to draft location, New York City. Yeah, right. Is New York drafting me? No.
They wanted you there like 3 or 4 days early and parade you around town.
Oh, you hated it. Yeah, you hated it so bad. I couldn't even imagine. I assume there was who was your agent at the time?
Mike McCartney, my whole time.
Shout out to Mike McCartney. He's age. Come on, this is a big honor, obviously, to have you there. They want to parade me around New York City? Okay, what am I? What am I, some pawn? Okay, yeah, right. You're a puppet. You could do that. I'm just going to wear this oversized suit whenever they draft my ass, and I'm going to head right to Green Bay.
Those are coming back.
Yeah, they certainly are. Okay, let's talk about some other things happening around the NFL world. AJ might know more than you on this whole thing. Is Aaron Rodgers signing with the I mean, they got 100%. They got 100% attendance.
AJ, what do we got?
Schefter, you got his number, Schefter. I don't think he blocked you. Honestly, I was going to ask you. I want to know. I've been out there with my ear to the ground trying to figure out what's happening.
Why not?
What is going to happen? I guess, is there a deadline, Schefter, for something to happen?
That's a good question.
No, I don't think there's a deadline, but I do think the Steelers would like to know before the draft. I don't think it matters. I think if Aaron just dragged this into May or June, he could do that. But again, I don't mean to oversimplify this, but either you want to play or you don't. It shouldn't be that hard.
Shefty, what, you know this guy?
Come on.
You want to play. You've committed your entire life to this. Okay, your whole being has been to football. You either know or you don't. Okay, we're tired of it. But the conversation we've had. Okay, yeah, he's got to do it. You got to leave.
Yeah, I got the head coach here waiting here. So
tell him we said hello. Tell him we said hello.
Yeah, he's got to go into me, so he's got 2 minutes here.
Tell him hi.
Tell him we've been a part of one of those situations with that exact man. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. That's Adam Schefter.
Yeah.
All right, I got 2 minutes. We got some recruits here.
What do you want?
Did you see what he's doing?
I'm not
draft
giving
night?
you nothing.
Who's doing draft night?
Sig.
What's he doing?
Their spring showcase, spring game, whatever, I believe it's at 8 p.m. on draft night.
What does that mean?
Like their spring game. That, all these teams have their spring games or whatever. Now it's a little different. Some teams do showcases, whatever, not to piss off their backups that now they know they're not going to start or whatever. But I believe the IU spring game is draft night at 8 p.m.
Who's just hate the draft?
Genius. No, absolutely genius.
What's this about?
No one else is going to watch it. They're watching the draft. No one's going to be poaching any talent he's got. So I don't know what you're talking about. We never had a spring game.
I'm so confused. What do you there has to be
they'll show Fernando getting drafted on the Jumbotron. Everyone will cheer. It'll be like a celebration for him.
That's a good idea. It'll be a draft night party for Hoosiers fans to watch Fernando get drafted number 1 overall, and then super cool football gimmicks on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, it's Little 500 weekend as well. Holy hell. Woo. Thursday's kicking off.
Little 500?
Yeah.
Little 5.
It's a little bike race that they, like an actual bike race, but it's on a, like
Lance Armstrong?
Yeah, but I think they do laps. Like I think it's like a track.
Like a relay, right?
It's called a Little 5. Yeah, and it's a relay of some sort for charity. It's a huge deal. It's a bike race that is a gigantic deal, and they treat it like a festival. It's Little 5 is what they call it. And I actually went to it whenever I was a younger lad, obviously. I hear about this.
Sure.
And Indiana has a pretty notorious positive party ranking score. Like, hey, they have a good time down here in Bloomington.
It's up there.
That's kind of what it is. So Little 5 was being talked about as something, that I needed to do. I'm fresh out of West Virginia University, Morgantown. Okay. So now I'm hearing about Bloomington being this place. I'm like, I would like to see what this place is. They said, go down on Little 5 weekend. It was spectacular. I mean, the whole place was having a good time. It felt like a Saturday in Morgantown, or it felt like what a big football game would feel like in a town. Like the whole place, everybody is having a good time and celebrating this. That is what they used to have to rely upon for like one of those big days. The Little 5 was, now they get it in fall for 7 home games or whatever it is, 8 home games and Little 5. It's like, I'm so happy for these people because these people have been looking and searching for reasons to have a good time. We're going to do it on a bike race for this entire thing. Now they have a great football team. It's sustainable. They have a fan base that has the largest active largest active alumni, I think, in this entirety. And they got Signetti, who's a super genius when it comes to coaching football. And that makes me look around the Big Ten and say, what are you guys going to do? What's everybody going to do around the Big Ten with Signetti? You hear how locked in he is? Guy won a national championship, won perfect last year. Got 2 minutes for you, Schefter. I'm not telling you shit. How about that? No anonymous source. Anything I tell you, you say this is from CC. Yeah, that's what you say in its entirety. But it is fascinating how each team's going to handle this. Them putting the spring game on draft night is clearly just like, we're celebrating Fernando. Let's not worry about anything else. Let's get out of here. West Virginia, I think, is doing like a concert, like a
spring football,
like a spring
after the game.
I think it's like a night before. There's it's like a spring festival of football. Basically, they're doing like a football fest, basically, with a
that's sweet
concert, some other stuff. I think they're going to do some drills or play a little bit, but it's like we don't want anybody to get hurt. We don't want to give anything. We don't want anybody to get pissed off or jaded because they didn't get as much snaps. These are just things that they're worried about. I'm not saying we as if I'm there, but it has all changed everything because of what is possible. Jake Owens performing.
Wow. Shit.
Yes.
For free.
Barefoot blue jean night. This guy loves green.
He's a great golfer too.
From the stadium right after the game. Okay.
What's green? I believe he is clean and sober. I believe he is a sober lad at this stage of his career. Had a good time. Has a lot to pull from whenever he's singing. There's a green, sea foam green.
Oh, yeah, that shirt. You got a nice shirt.
Yeah.
You tried going to his concert in a tank top.
In Arkansas. It was a
can't do that in Arkansas.
Not a chance.
Not at that
Couldn't go to a concert.
Couldn't go to a Jake Owen concert in Arkansas at like a saloon.
Where's your tuxedo, pal?
The hell?
They told me that biker gangs come through there, and obviously we just need everybody's shoulders and arms covered.
That's real?
Yeah.
I got escorted into the place.
Of course,
I got escorted into the place to the back. Had to buy some Jake Owen merch
Seafoam
T-shirt,
green.
seafoam green.
Great color.
Okay, they told me it was his favorite color. Think about me going through this. Please think about it.
It was a good time.
No, it was a great time.
That's why I asked was real.
The real, yeah. So I go all the way back. I get a seafoam green. They escort me all the way back outside of saloon. Okay, I take off outside, put seafoam green shirt on. Okay, now need to check your ID.
Looking good.
No, didn't say any of that. Just need to check ID, pay. Now we get in there. Ryan Mallett was in there. Rest in peace. It was everybody you know from John Daly obviously was our host at one point. He went up there and sang "Knock, knock, knocking on heaven door." Him and Jake Owen put on a concert. Jake Owen put on a much longer concert than John Daly, but of course, Jake Owen, I don't know how he performs. Okay, I saw him golfing.
What do you mean?
Just shortly before that performance, and I didn't understand how everything was going to go. I didn't understand it, and I'll tell you what,
rock star.
He crushed it. I mean, he went for like 3.5 hours. It was absolutely absurd. I think he has changed his life. I don't think that would have been sustainable what he was doing there because how hard he went on stage. After how hard, I'm like, how does one human 6 hours? How is that what their 6 hours looks like? Even for me, and I used to go pretty good. I didn't have to go put on a show for 3.5, 4 hours. He was unbelievable. We were very impressed with him, but I think he did have to I have to survive this thing at some point. I think he's changed his life completely. Yeah, he's coming to West Virginia. He's coming to West Virginia.
That's one of his bangers I would know.
Fucking barefoot blue jean.
Oh,
never gonna give up.
Oh,
Never gonna give up.
In the middle of rock.
Okay.
Sing it, butt.
I'm not.
Wow!
Did
this help? Wow!
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on. He's got others.
Okay. Hold on. D-Butt, Ohio State has Darius Rucker. Do you know who that is? You know
Yes!
Do I know
He's South Carolina Cock fan, brother. No. He's mayor of Cocktown.
Come on.
Yeah, he don't like your school.
I know Hootie.
Yeah.
Dolphin fan.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Just enough with that. How about yeah, I mean, you know all.
Who performed at West Virginia?
Come on, keep going through them, Pat.
8-second ride is a banger.
Yes.
I mean, let's not even get crazy.
That was a great part of college, like spring weekend gimmicks. We had T-Pain come through, Lamar, J. Cole. Who were some of the people that came through?
I think that was we had
Guns N' Roses,
Wavy Davy.
We had
Huey Mack.
We had Wiz came.
John Denver.
6'6", 6628, 6624.
Mike Jones.
We had a 6'6", he was local rapper.
Oh,
nice.
I thought you were trying to like
Somebody had come to Ohio State.
No, we had OAR. I think came through.
Oh, that's a good get.
I'd go to that.
Crazy game of poker. Yeah.
Yep.
He said hi. I said revolution.
Nah.
It was a crazy game of poker. You had to hear the whites singing that during the time as you were.
You went to
UConn.
No, it was at UConn.
UConn, we had. I just named the name. Those are our headliners.
Yeah, I mean T-Pain.
Kanye came to WVU when I was a freshman there.
Boom.
Hey, see.
UConn's so close to New York. Like even my school, we got a lot of good people just because they're right there. So many guys are.
You're telling me you don't know OAR at UConn during that era? Yeah, right. There was whites bopping to Crazy Game of Poker.
I'm with you. I'm with you here.
I agree.
Okay, good. I'm happy we all came to that conclusion. We did not have T-Pain playing in Morgan.
Yeah, Chainsmokers, Lil Dicky.
Party school.
Yeah, we didn't really need
Little Dicky in that Dick's commercial.
What was that? He's recruiting.
Still doing it.
He's still doing it.
He's a big time part of their like whole campaign.
I don't like
the
commercial.
Him and Diana Taurasi are recruiting.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
He's still bringing it?
Well, you go to Dick's, you get recruited.
Does he do
Is that
music
what
anymore?
is that what it is?
Is there?
Okay.
Because I had to go to a
Weird.
kicking contest when I was in high school, and there was a
Sure.
bunch of college coaches there, and that's how I got offered a scholarship to West Virginia University. So are these kids now just going to Dick's and like they're just maybe getting caught on security cameras, getting recruited?
That's what's weird.
Is that what little Dicky
so.
and Diana Taurasi are
But
doing?
it's like they're looking at like Tatum, and he's saying like, "We need more Tatums in here." Like it's not, and the kids that they have are getting like dunked on by the pro athletes. So I don't know who's recruiting them.
Yeah, they're
I want to let everybody know, Lil D, I trust him.
no doubt about
I don't trust him.
Dave?
No,
Then you don't know.
I trust Taurasi. I don't trust him.
I trust Dave. I trust Lil D. I
Is he
trust.
still showing his cheeks a lot?
No, in this one he's recruiting. Okay. So I think you're going to figure it out.
Was that his thing for a while?
Oh,
in his TV show, Dave, there were a lot about
cheeks.
cheeks.
A
Yeah.
lot of cheeks.
Oh, okay.
Remember you loved it?
A lot of cheeks. Felt like if we didn't have anywhere to go, we are going to go cheeks.
Yeah.
And I kind of got sick of seeing cheeks.
Call each other Chuck. I'm not sure why, where that joke comes from.
But I do trust him because I've seen him on microphone, and he just goes absolutely crazy. So I am a Lil Dicky fan, but the Dick's commercial confused the hell out of me.
That's a great Pittsburgh company. I'm sure they meant well.
Yeah, exactly. Dick's got it.
Speaking of Pittsburgh, AJ, you dodged the question. What the fuck is Aaron doing?
Okay, I want to let you know, AJ, people of Pittsburgh are not happy. Obviously, Dan Orlovsky has a situation yesterday where he is either told or thinks that Lamar Jackson is past the time of arriving at the offseason
Guys
workouts,
swinging a hot bat.
which are 2 weeks earlier than everybody else because they have a new head coach. So just like training camp, if you have a new head coach, you're allowed to arrive earlier, especially if you're in a Hall of Fame game or any of the other shit that's going on in the preseason. You also get earlier time if you have a new head coach because you're allotted extra time to do the entire culture instill. I don't know why the Ravens were yesterday. Everybody else who had a new coach were today. So I don't know if it's a 4-day work week and the Ravens decided to go Monday through Thursday and everybody else is going Tuesday through Friday. We should have done a little bit more research. But literally, immediately after Dan Orlovsky says, this is unacceptable out of Lamar because he, once again, is living in a world where he is told that Lamar did not go to the offseason workouts, which a little bit of a bamboozle for Dan Orlovsky getting that information, if that was how it all went down, which we would assume. And then immediately Lamar Jackson shows up afterwards. I'm about done with the sports bras with the catapult thing that everybody's kind of forced to use because they're tracking them down. But I do appreciate the fact that Lamar and everybody in Baltimore is excited for this next chapter. And if Minter's got everybody bought in, which it seems like he does on day one, we've only seen that guy have success. So good news for Baltimore. Dan, I think, got bamboozled. I don't love what happened to Dan, but it does. It's Trey Hendrickson obviously getting after it over there in Baltimore. I like to see that. But I like what's happening with the Ravens, and I appreciate the hell out of how Lamar's kind of operating as their leader.
I've always liked how Lamar operates. He is authentic to himself, I feel like. And anytime you talk to anybody that's ever played with him, they absolutely love the dude. And I say all the time, like your quarterback, his confidence will trickle down through every single person on that roster and every coach. And I think that's what Lamar does. But yeah, tough for Dano. I mean, I felt like pretty early in the morning, I was seeing clips of Lamar walk into the facility at Baltimore, so I wasn't exactly sure when Dano went on the air with that.
Yeah, I think it was very close. I think, the 8 a.m. is when you get up in the morning with Greeny. It's early. It is an early one. Apparently, clearly, a little bit earlier than Lamar going out there as the internet continued to dunk on Dano, which has become pretty routine at this point. We'd like to let Dano know, whoever told you that he wasn't there, that's the problem. Okay, we need to be going after whoever that person is because Dano should not just be going. Unless Dano said, "Where's he at?" I haven't seen a photo. Unless he was hunting it, which I don't think was happening, and unless there was a piece of information sent to Dano as let's see if this dick shit will say something. Because remember,
that could be it.
Lamar Jackson put the tweet out with the smoke,
Yes, he did.
and so maybe some member from his team floated to somebody to get to Dano. Hey, tell Dano Lamar's not coming.
Wow.
And then waited in car for Dano to say what he's saying.
He just said it. Go.
And then he's immediately out afterwards. I mean,
that's pretty good.
That is
I hope that's
5D chess.
Tough spot.
If that is what happened, but we don't know because I haven't heard Dano's entire side. But whoever told him, I think, is who we need to start the conversation with.
That's genius. I hadn't thought of that. Me and Connor were kind of talking about this yesterday. I just assumed that around like 8:15 he was in the lunchroom at Bristol and just didn't even see the face, just overheard someone say like, "Yeah, I don't think Lamar's there yet." And he was like, "Jesus fucking Christ!" And just ran right into the studio and said it.
Microphone.
Yeah, exactly. Get me on now.
So, I mean, one of those things you probably got to cross your T's and dot your I's before you take that to air, but it happens.
No, well, he didn't. I mean, I think he was told.
Show business, baby.
I think he was told by somebody. Funny that Lamar's not at offseason.
I mean,
workout.
it was 6 minutes later they posted the video.
I think Lamar's
that's not crazy to think.
Off-season workout programs begin today in Arizona, Atlanta, Buffalo, Cleveland, Las Vegas, Miami, New York Giants, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee. That's all of the new head coaches. They get the opportunity to go in there early. Baltimore one day before everybody. Pittsburgh, allegedly, everybody's in town.
Nice.
AJ, the Yinzers are not happy, dude. I'm going to let you know they are not happy because they saw every star player show up at this offseason workout, and then they go, I like the commitment, like the buy-in. Coach McCarthy's got the boys believing in what they can be there in the black and yellow, black and gold for the Yinzer and for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But where's our fucking quarterback at? And then everybody goes back to, here we go again. Isn't that kind of how you guys are feeling about it?
Yes, brand new start, new head coach, okay? Everything's different. It's not like, hey, we know this. Everyone's there, okay? Jalen Ramsey's there, DK Metcalf is there, Cam's there, TJ's there. There's only one guy for the second year in a row who we're being held hostage by. Again, okay? And, I don't want to show up for my guy Mike McCarthy, okay? If you love Mike McCarthy, you'd be there for him. Okay?
Wow.
You're not staring at the stars every night trying to talk to him, trying to decide what you want to do.
Age, why is he saying that, AJ? That's not real.
I don't know why, Tony. You might be biased from previous conversations we have had with him, and you think weird stuff is going on. So, but I wish I had anything for you on this one. As far as football and everything goes, I do not know what the plan may be. But like I said, I believe the last 5 or 6 years in the offseason at this time, why would you quit playing if you can still slang the ball like he can?
Yeah, especially in McCarthy's offense, in which he loves. And McCarthy said we've had very positive conversations, a lot of them.
Hell yeah.
And Aaron's in shape. We know that.
Yes, he is.
We know.
Tom, you should have answers.
Yep.
Holding court with the Steelers brass. Has he been offered a contract?
I was just having life discussions.
Has he been offered a deal?
Well, you're talking about the off-the-record party where Tone Diggs was surrounded by Pittsburgh brass?
You thought I was talking ball?
Holding court.
Just talking to my friends about life, okay?
Okay.
Oh, those are your friends
Life
now.
without a QB?
These are his friends
Must be
now.
tough.
Interesting. Let's pivot away from what's happening in Pittsburgh. Aaron, good luck, dude. You played football for 50 years at this point. You do whatever the hell you want.
Yep.
Yeah, but make up your mind.
But
whenever you want.
You do whatever the hell you want, Aaron. But on that note, people in Pittsburgh would love if you made up your mind. But, Aaron, as you know, with the Yinzers, as soon as you make up your mind, they'll be back on board.
Yeah.
Just know, that's how it goes. But maybe a little show of the face and the calves, and maybe that because he's jacked right now.
Yeah.
No, he's jacked right now. He's got good abs, I assume, because of everything that's been going on out there. It's a lot of movement.
Bulky chest.
Yeah, absolutely. Hips probably going pretty activated.
Oh, yeah.
He's having
Super activated.
He's having a lot of moments of clarity.
Super activated.
Yeah, I'd say.
If he just first or second day, get a photo in there, I think Yinzers would go crazy. But Aaron, you do whatever the hell you want
Long
to do.
season.
Are you all right, D-Butt? Are you okay, D-Butt? What's going on? You just remembered why he's
You guys got to relax.
What are you talking about?
He said it to us.
Yeah.
He said it to us.
He's having a lot of moments of clarity. Okay, how many
cleaning
moments of
more-
clarity do you need to decide?
Well,
I'm not talking
Cleaning
about
more
what he
than
said.
weights, brother.
Something that was said on this stage. You need to relax, all right?
let's get to the big thing happening this weekend. Let's get to
What's that?
What God said?
What's that?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a massive week for golf.
Huge.
This is when you really need to lock in on what's going on. This is where all the stars are out. This is when the patrons can't have their phones. It's a trip back in time where the golf level is at its absolute highest, and the course is the star. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us from across the street, because if he didn't know if he did show from on grounds, he would get his pass revoked.
Sure.
Smart play.
Very smart.
Ladies and gentlemen, ESPN golf coverage, Mark Schlabach.
Yeah,
Smart. That's a good idea, Mark. Smart.
Guys, how are you?
Hey, go Dogs.
Go Dogs. I'm in an undisclosed location across Washington behind the Fresh Market grocery store, and I hear, Pat, this might be as close as you get this season.
I heard there's a lot of chatter about that. I think it was a good move by you to do what you're doing right now. We appreciate you joining us. Let's dive into this weekend. The last time we had you on for the players, you picked apart the thing. It basically gave us the entire weekend. You were phenomenal. I don't know if you know this, if you had any idea. Immediately after you got off the show, we all said, yup, we love that guy. Thank you for joining us. What do we need to look at this weekend, you think, at Augusta for these guys who are going to try to be remembered as icons of sport forever.
Yeah, I think it's wide open. I mean, you probably heard Tiger's not here, Phil's not here, unfortunately. But, Scotty's still struggling with the swing a little bit, fighting the driver. He's got 2 kids he's got to chase down now. Just had a new son, Remy, 10 days ago. He hasn't played in about a month. But, if it's wide open, why you wouldn't take the world number 1 is beyond me. Same thing for Rory McIlroy, been battling a back, the defending champion. He seems to be pretty dialed in right now, but he hadn't played, almost in 3 weeks. Colin Morikawa, the 2-time major champion, was playing as well as anyone, and then he hurt his back, and he hasn't played since the Players' Championship. So a lot of unknown questions at the top. Ludwig Oberg from Switzerland via Lubbock, Texas. One of the best iron players in the world. Don't know if he can finish, and that's been a big problem. And then Xander Schauffele, the X-Man, he battled a rib injury last year. He's back, playing really well. He could finish 3/4 of the career Grand Slam this week.
Okay, I just want to let you know, Mark, I love the way you talk about golf. I also appreciate the fact you're not scared to dive into the negative. First thing you say, Scotty's got 2 kids, can't swing for shit, but hasn't played in 10 days, maybe a month. Maybe he'll be the guy. Don't know why you wouldn't take the world number 1. You did call that ahead of the players. You said Scotty doesn't like it, but right now it's very clear that he does not like his swing. Is there a chance that just like I had, you don't play golf for a while? I retired from the game. I put sticks down. Had to, for the good of this and for my life as a whole. I picked him up this past weekend, played the best I've ever played in my life. Dropped some bad habits. You think Scotty Scheffler gets back to what he was potentially after he took off like a month? Is there a chance that actually happens, Mark?
Yeah. I mean, look, I think the rest will help. We don't know how much his wife's pending birth was on his mind the last couple of weeks. But each of the last 3 Masters, he came into the tournament ranked number 1 on tour in strokes gained approach. This year he's tied for 82nd, I believe. So, look, and it's not like the guy's finishing 63rd every week. He's, a couple top 25s. It's just, he's the new Tiger Woods. We're used to him being invincible, and he's shown a little bit of blood here the last few weeks. But, one guy I did not mention either, Bryson DeChambeau, hits it as long as anybody. After calling this a par 67 course a few years ago, the golf gods made him pay for it, but he seems to have figured it out. Won back-to-back events in Singapore and South Africa on the Live Golf League. So, he's definitely among the favorites as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Bryson DeChambeau, always the show. On that note, it feels like the course might be a long one as well. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Mark, I could be wrong, but I feel like the last few years we've dealt with some rain, but I saw reports this week that it has not rained in Augusta in a few weeks. It's the driest the course has been in a while. Now, obviously, they have a sprinkler system at Augusta, but what is the course conditions? What are the players talking about how the course is shaping up for this weekend? Does that make the course harder, obviously, being drier and faster?
It's going to be firm and fast. It's going to be crusty by Sunday. I mean, I live about an hour and a half from here. We hadn't gotten any rain. I mean, it's been as dry around here as Florida's trophy case since Tim Tebow walked away.
Go Dogs! Go Dogs!
Come on now.
Got a little bit of rain Monday, but man, it's going to be cool tomorrow for the par 3. But by Sunday, it's going to be about 85 degrees. They can get this course as fast and firm as they want. And talking to guys the last couple of days, it's already there. So it could be a little bit of a bloodbath on the weekend.
Love everything about that. Anytime important golf is playing on the TV in the background through the weekend, it is a good time, especially when Nance's beautiful voice is kind of the soundtrack to it all. AJ has a question about a little bit more heat potentially.
Yeah, what about Brooks Koepka? Do you think, we know he always steps up when it matters the most of these major events that kind of get his attention. What are your thoughts on his game coming into the Masters? How do you think he does?
Yeah, he's been good since he came back from the Saudi League. He started off a little bit slow, but
it's called LIV.
He's a pro. Of course. Oh, sorry, the Saudi finance.
Can he win this one? Can he win it, Mark?
I mean, he's another guy that could finish 3/4 of the career Grand Slam here, but he's hitting the irons well. He's switched putters a few weeks ago, has putted better. Look, if I'm taking 10 guys in a major, Brooks is one of them. He's big game Brooks for a reason. I would not be surprised to see him in contention. He loves the course. It suits his game, and he was right there in it with Tiger back in 2019 and until the last few holes. So I would not be surprised to see him in contention.
37-1 are the odds on that. Not a bad little payday, AJ, if you believe in him. I'm all of a sudden plus 450, Scotty Scheffler. Just the thought of baby boy happening. Last time he had a kid, didn't he go on a full run because he wanted to basically showcase to the baby, hey, listen, this is who dad is. I'm on Scotty. I love that we do still have a little bit of heat from Liv. Mm-hmm. Is the name of the league. Okay? Liv is the name of the league. Saudi fun.
Hey, don't forget about Patrick Reed either, the man in black, the villain that left Liv to come back to PGA Tour because he wanted to play for real consequences. He
unbelievable.
He owns this place. He won back in 2018. He's an Augusta native. He played at Augusta College right down the street. I think he's got 5 top 10s since 2018, which is as many as anybody in the field. He won on back-to-back weeks in the DP World Tour in the Middle East. So, don't rule out Patrick Reed either.
Unbelievable stuff, Mark. Let's talk about that a little bit more. Go ahead, Con, man.
Yeah, Mark, it felt like the beef between Liv, the Saudi League, as you put it, and PGA kind of basically dwindled a bit, especially with Brooks coming back, Reed coming back. Is there still kind of an apparent beef that you see or at least hear about, Brooks being back, but more so DeChambeau, John Rahm? Is there still a little bit of heat, a little bit of a rivalry, kind of two separate sides when you're walking around Augusta?
Not as much as like 3 years ago. Look, Liv does a good job in Hong Kong and Singapore and Australia and South Africa. Those places are dying for professional golf because the PGA Tour hasn't been there. But look, it's struggled to get footing in the U.S. It's television ratings, on the CW and Fox Sports 2 now. The numbers are what they are. But look, Bryson, at the end of the season, his contract's up. Are they going to pay him what they paid him before? I've been told the big, front end contracts aren't a thing anymore. Does he come back to the PGA Tour? Does he just go do YouTube golf and make, millions of dollars? We'll have to see. But I just think, there's a handful of guys over there I think the PGA Tour would like to see come back, including Rambo. But I've been told Rahm would owe him like $1 billion to get out of that contract. He's pretty confident he'll be on the Ryder Cup team next year to Darren Manor in Ireland, but he's got to settle some things with the DP World Tour.
Okay, so obviously a lot of heat behind the scenes with the way the Live and everything came together, especially 3 years ago. You chit-chat about there. The boys coming together to play in the Masters, it feels like is always special, which is, it always feels big because everybody, you talk about Phil and Tiger not being there, obviously it's a little different, but all the stars are going to be there. Sometimes it's not about them. Can you tell me a little bit about the place in which the amateurs still have to sleep in 2026? What is that? What is that place called? What is that area called?
Rose Nest. Mason Howell, the 18-year-old from Thomasville, Georgia, slept in there last night. This kid is a stud, Pat.
Okay, hold on. Now, Ty wants to ask, can Ty ask you about this, actually? Because if you could tell me about after Ty's question about it, can you also tell me about the tradition of them having to sleep? They sleep in like the crow's nest up here, I believe. Now, good bed. I think it has air conditioning. There's a game up there that they play, but go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Mark, are there any amateurs that you're it feels like in recent years we've had a couple of these guys who, kind of catch fire a little bit, make the cut, and then, sometimes kind of dwindle on Sunday. But are there any amateurs or first-time starters at Augusta that you're kind of keeping an eye on to potentially make a run this week?
Yeah, I think there's 22 first-timers, not including the amateurs. There hadn't been a first-time winner since Fuzzy Zeller, God rest his soul, back in 1979. Chris Goddard, New Jersey guy, has already won twice on tour, hits it a mile, transferred from Rutgers to Oklahoma for his final year. He's got all the tools, really fast ball speed, swing speed. He's going to win some majors and may not be this week. Jacob Bridgman puts it as well as anybody on tour. Marco Penge, a DP World Tour guy who came over this year, hits it a mile. The amateurs, there's a kid from Tennessee. His name escapes me at the moment. They call him the Fridge. And then, in fact, he got home to his rental house yesterday, and his refrigerator was covered with magnets of him with the fridge on it. And then Mason Howell, the kid I was talking about a minute ago.
Jackson Harrington is the Fridge.
Jackson Harrington, thank you. Yeah, plays in Tennessee. Lost to Mason Howell in the finals of the U.S. Amateur last year. Mason Howell played the U.S. Open as a 17-year-old. He's here as an 18-year-old. He slept in the Crow's Nest last night. He is an absolute stud. Stunner, Pat, going to Georgia next year. But he came over last Wednesday and played a practice round with Justin Rose and almost aced the 240-yard par 3 fourth.
Jeez. What if the lad wins there? So can they win? I don't think I understand the rules because it's always best amateur. Then they can't go to college though because they can claim it because I guess nowadays
don't get paid.
Yeah, you
if
can't,
you win.
You don't get paid.
Yeah,
you
no
don't get
prize
paid. You
money.
get a green jacket.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
But that green jacket,
That pays for itself.
he's worth more than gold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you tell us about some of the rules here? We got 3 minutes. Let's just make sure if we happen to be on the grounds, we don't look like assholes, this weekend potentially. How do people dress for this thing? What are the words? We got patrons, we got bunkers.
You got patrons. You've got the first 9 and the second 9, not the front and the back. Okay. You've got the first cut, not the rough. You've got ornamentals, not bushes. You got pimento cheese. Do not put it on top of the chicken sandwich. The egg salad's better than the pimento cheese. I would dress nicely. No cell phones, period. You get your arm cut off. And no tank tops, I believe.
All right. I'll maybe see you down there. We appreciate the hell out of you. You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, ESPN Golf Reporter, Mark Schlabach.
Yeah, Mark.
He's the best.
He's become quickly my favorite guest we've ever had. For
Undisclosed location, then gives his exact location. Okay, I'm not trying to sneak this on the grounds, please. This is where I'm exactly at. I feel like this is the closest you're going to get to this place, too. It's like, all right, I like where you're at, Mark. Mark's following along. Does that mean they're talking about it down there? Should we maybe not go down there?
I think you should.
It's interesting that this has all kind of become a thing. I did not expect it to become a thing. What I am learning about us is that things become things. Okay, we obviously all go with that. But then I got a lot of people telling me how small and irrelevant we all are. So, it's kind of an interesting battle every single day on being like, hey, if I throw away line, okay, becomes, we didn't say go to hell.
No, I saw a lot of you last night.
Oh, buddy.
Speaking of things.
Had a little dinner. Mm-hmm. Took baby girl up to bed. Come downstairs at 8:30, 8:40ish. Open my phone. Go to the X. Go to trending. Is that me? Are they Pat McAfee? What? What is that about? CM Punk last night called me Pat McAfee and attacked a lot of things, and then he would lay out why he is not worth the price of admission to WrestleMania. Yep. Lower the prices now. I'm not worth that much. But no worries, Mr. Punk. Randy Orton is here to save everything. And this has been an exciting time. Joe Tessitore revealed the WrestleMania cards earlier today on Get Up. Mike Greenberg started asking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah, he did.
Jeez, Greeny.
Then journalist.
Whoa.
Journalism.
He's pro.
And let's not even talk about real life conspiracy happening. There's a guy who I think he's in the meetings.
Yeah.
Saying around
200 yards.
What? We should know. We should know. Mm-hmm. We'll never know.
You're a couple in there.
Do we know anything?
Nope.
Find out tomorrow. Goodbye. What an ending.
Well done.
You think that's like a real gripper right there? Mm-hmm. You think I'm really like...
It's Emmy worthy right there.
Pat's really going through
it. Going through it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the airport's walking through, no sound.
Yeah.
Just so, and then
no.
out. Pat McAfee there before. Imagine not hearing the story kind of going about. What a dumb life we're living. All right, let's get to a break. On the other side, we're going to cover everything we haven't chatted about that happened in the sports world. We're incredibly lucky that we get to be, what's the proper term? Some of the voices of sports world right now. I think sports are the greatest.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
None like it.
I think every day it proves it more and more. Like last night, that national championship, that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like cool to see.
Yeah.
So many people happy for one thing.
Where's all the UConn fans?
They were in one section and then behind the hoop.
It's like 80-20.
Nah.
How does that happen?
Geography.
Location.
Geography, yeah.
Geography,
and it's, it's our third and fourth years,
Yeah.
Oh, you guys just used to it, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, out of those 3 teams, that one was definitely the worst of the 3.
As far as?
Like skill. Like that team loses to 2023 and 2020.
Oh. Yeah.
On that note, The tickets were very expensive.
Yeah, I was going to say it was outrageously expensive.
So I think Michigan had a really, not that UConn doesn't, but I'm just saying the Michigan people, let alone them being 3 out of the last 4 years, potentially winning their second national championship ever while also being able to get here and also get out of here for work maybe on Tuesday, because of location. It was very heavily Michigan. I mean, very clearly heavily Michigan. And you got people that don't know each other high-fiving. That's like so cool.
Yeah.
Those are my dreams coming true. I mean, us getting a chance to chat with Yaxel earlier, and he has the net still tied on his hat, and then he's like in the trophy sitting right there. It's like that dude hasn't slept.
No.
That guy hasn't slept at all. And how many moments of that do you really have, in the world?
Most people, 0.
It's a 4-hour drive for Ann Arbor and 13 for UConn.
I mean, what about what Mark was just talking about? Like, there's an 18-year-old kid sleeping on the Augusta premises, getting ready to play golf on Thursday to win a green jacket potentially. He's 18 years. Like, that gives me chills just thinking about what that kid is thinking about as he is at his little cabin.
There's a 21-year-old in Boston who has an incredible bat for the Boston Red Sox.
Yes, he does.
Yes,
It might become the youngest DH
What does that mean?
in MLB history.
It means he's an absolute fucking liability in left field.
And that is not the case.
Unfortunately.
And that's not true.
I've been seeing some pictures.
That's not true.
Yeah, they're Yankee fan.
I don't know.
Hey, if it were up to me, shit, keep him out there. You kidding me? We'll run on this sumbitch until he throws somebody out at the plate, and boy, it doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon.
He's got the yips, all right? He's got the yips. He's going through it a bit. So, yeah, he can't throw the ball right now from left field. Has he dropped a fly ball? No.
That's okay.
Has he had a ball go through his legs, or has he missed a ground ball? No. Got to work on the accuracy. Word on the street is Mark DeRosa told him that, hey, instead of throwing here, you should throw here. And so now all of a sudden his accuracy is a little screwed up. I don't know what happened. He was basically hanging out with Judge and Pete Crow Armstrong for 3 weeks, and now the guy can't throw. This wasn't happening last year. It wasn't happening last year.
Just fine.
Yeah, they are.
Just fine.
I know.
Just fine.
And so I don't know if maybe he saw them do something and thought, like, I can do that too. He can't. He's got to go back to his basics. I don't know where Tony's at right now, but Tony, why don't you call your boy? Why don't you go check in on your boy? Get back to what you guys were doing growing up, because this was not the case last year. Okay?
No son of mine's got linguini for a right arm.
That's
I don't like what they're doing.
I need that in Tony's ear.
I don't like what they're doing to him.
That's what I'm talking about. He doesn't have a noodle arm. He's got the yips.
But on that note,
2 for 4.
guy's unbelievable in the batter's box.
Lead off double, bubblehead night last night. We're gonna be just fine.
How come whenever I said, why isn't he DH? And then I thought immediately, as a 21-year-old, I don't think I know that. Why was that so outrageous to you and to Bruce and to the baseball people?
Because, 21, you're thinking this kid's young. He's athletic. You're more thinking of DH, Giancarlo Stanton. This guy's like 37. He can't open a bag of chips because his body's so fucked up from playing baseball for the last 17 years. Like, that guy can't be in the field. But then I watch something like that, and I'm thinking, you know what? If I got Giancarlo Stanton on second base, I'm sending him. I'm sending him on a base hit. I think he probably, in like the video game, his speed would be a 0. And I think I don't even know if he'd have to slide in the home plate.
And you want to bury Roman?
He's too young. You expect a guy like that, very good athlete, like he needs to play in the field because they have some other guy who is much older who might have a great bat, but he's going to be a liability in the field. So you need the young guys to be able to play defense.
Don't fucking listen to this guy. Okay? I watched every single fucking baseball game this year. All right, he's going to be fine. He's going through it a little bit. He doesn't have a noodle arm. He knows. He actually said after the game, I got to figure this the fuck out. This can't keep going. He's going to be just fine. All these noodle arm
I heard
jokes.
the Sell the Team chants up there. I heard the Sell the Team chants picked up and moved from Pittsburgh to Boston.
Well, that's the problem, by the way. Yeah, hold on. That's the problem, by the way, is the whole Sell the Team thing. Like, we spent $300 million this offseason, okay? So I don't know if we need to sell the team, but that GM, Craig Breslow, now that's the guy. I think we need to go after him. I'm not calling for people to chant fire Breslow, but it has nothing to do with the owner.
Oh yeah, what about the pizza that people are being forced to buy in there?
See, now that's tough. That's tough. Okay,
we don't know if that's real.
Yeah, we don't know if that's real. It's also a freaking 45-degree night in Boston. All right. What do you want? What do you want them to do? Grab a fucking bag of peanuts and a couple beers. Stop ordering
Get
fucking
a goddamn
pizza at the game.
Fenway Frank,
All right?
not pizza pie.
Yeah, get a fucking hot dog.
Get a
Fucking
glizzy.
popcorn.
Get a glizzy.
Stop ordering fucking pizza at the ballpark.
Agreed.
The fuck?
It's Tony
kidding
Bob.
me?
It was his Roman's bobblehead night.
Yeah, exactly. It's Roman's bobblehead night, not Roman's
that throw
fucking
was
pizza
on-
night.
That
Pizza
throw
makes sense.
Too
That
many
throw
sauce on his fingers.
Hey,
was
dude,
on Roman Anthony bobblehead
It's the
night.
best one he's had all season, so I don't want to fucking hear about it. All right? I'm okay with that throw.
Hey, Roman, let's go, dude. Come on.
He's going to be fine.
Yes, he is. Now, I can't throw a baseball, so I have no idea where it's headed. So
Neither does he.
Exactly. I'm telling you, that's a terrible feeling whenever you guys are skipping a stone, which I heard you're the only person in the history of baseball that's ever said that.
Yep.
Roman needs to start skipping the stone.
Yeah. Roman Anthony.
Maybe I'll make a couple calls. Get Roman down here to skip the
some
stone
stone.
when they're on their way to KC or something.
When I'm skipping stone with you guys and there's valuable shit behind you guys and I'm throwing, man, every time I'm throwing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know where this is going. Roman has that. Kickers get it. Pitchers get it.
Exactly.
Golfers get it. Like anytime you have a little thing, that's what people are saying that he has. It's like you can beat that just with one sick. I mean, all he needs is one laser.
That's all it takes. You can't like practice that. It's only you got to do that in the moment. He's got to gun somebody out at home or something. Then okay, here we go. We're over the hump.
Bingo.
I don't think he has a great arm to begin with, though.
He did play right field last year too. That could be messing with him. I know it's something small,
It's
but
just one of those things. Like they're 2-8 right now. Everything's not going great. You know, he probably feels immense pressure because he's batting leadoff and he was starting for the World Baseball Classic for Team USA. Like it's just a lot of shit on top of each other. I've told this guy time and time again. It's fucking April. You can't do this yet, otherwise he'll blow his brains out in May.
I'm fucking sick of hearing it too.
What? Sick of hearing not
I need
to
a
worry?
win. I need a win. Yeah. Okay. Hey, it's fine.
We've been kind of watching you here publicly on this show kind of go through it. Because remember, before the home opener, the season hadn't started. You guys were worse in the league.
Exactly.
Now the home opener has happened. The season has started. And you guys still stink.
Yeah. Okay. But now finally Garrett Crochet's pitching at home. So really the season starts today. Because
Okay.
our first of our rotation is here. And if it doesn't happen today, tomorrow's going to be real tough.
You know what's happening today?
What's that?
Skeens Day.
Yes, it is. Boom.
Pittsburgh Pirates, hottest team in baseball, with the greatest celebration.
Not anymore.
I think they're on a 3-game losing streak, I believe. Yeah.
you say it's-
3-game losing streak?
They're on a one. They won 5 in a row and
Yeah,
they lost
they lost
one.
yesterday.
So if that's a 3-game
Doesn't
losing
matter.
streak,
The Reds
yeah.
overtook them for second place in the NL Central. We know that.
Okay, the
we
Reds.
beat the Reds in a series head to head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Who's got a better record now?
Tell Ellie to learn how to hit. Dude.
Yeah, what are you talking? Just let me. It's Skeens Day. We're not talking about
Yeah,
your shit.
go with it. Go with your Pirates. Go.
You guys got a clock over there. Really nice of you. I'm happy to hear that.
Beautiful clock. Thank you, Joey Votto.
Thank you, Joey Votto, for your service to Cincinnati and for letting everybody know it's always that time. You know, your time is up. Our time is now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Joey Votto is saying. The time, 6:40 tonight Eastern. Paul Skeens, home opener for Skeens. Obviously, his league season opener didn't go great.
No.
He's back. The Pirates are winners, and Pittsburgh's a buzz. Tone, we're excited for Skeens being on the bump.
Yeah, obviously the first one didn't go well, and then he shut out. Who was it? Oh, it was the Reds. He beat the Reds. And then, yes, tonight, home opener for him against the Padres. Tough loss last night, real bad. It was old school Pirates loss last night, but we'll bounce back today with Skeens on the mound.
Total moves from 7 to 6. 6 very low is what?
Yeah, there's a lot of cold weather out there today.
And wind.
And wind, a lot of it blowing in. Somehow the wind is always blowing in when it's cold. It's never blowing out for home runs. So, yes, and there's a lot of aces on the mounds today, so there's a lot of low totals.
Yeah, so home run bets today might not be home run bingo day. You know, it might not be home run because the weather cold, bats cold, hands cold, balls don't travel as far, especially with the breeze. This is good second-level thinking here from Hammer Dahn. We appreciate that stuff. Now, it might be completely wrong because maybe these bats get a little stiffer and the ball is doing another thing. And
Sure.
because it's cold, it goes. But as somebody who used to have to hit something in the cold, you always hate it. Your body hates it. How's it do for pitching? Probably tightens them up a little bit.
Yeah,
too.
not throwing as hard. So
95, 97.
Yeah, that's like where I'd expect Skeens to be today.
As opposed to 99, 100.
Right.
A little bit slower, yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, because you're not as loose. You're not as loose. You're pretty tight, you know?
Not as limber.
Yeah, exactly.
But today is a great opportunity, you know, with a lot of aces on. If you want to go like lucky sevens, do a parlay, you know, maybe 7+ strikeouts, something like that.
What is that? What is lucky seven?
I mean, there are so many good pitchers, so you kind of just look at matchups and think, oh, you know what, I think this guy's going to shove today. I think this guy's going to shove today. And a lot of the pitchers who are throwing today are strikeout guys. So, you know, you just couple them
Ponche?
together. Yeah.
A lot of ponche.
Yeah, a lot of ponche.
The Red Sox swing at the most pitches outside of the zone. And the Miz is on the bump for the Brewers. So if you want to go ahead and hop. Not that I would ever bet against the Sox.
Oh, so we got Miz versus the Sox?
Yes.
There's also going to be a fight tonight in this game.
There's a chance.
Yeah.
Between who?
Oh, Brewers and Red Sox. This guy Contreras has been hit by the Brewers like 24 times in his career. He got beaned last night, slid into second base, ripped the guy's pants with his cleats, slid high. He's pissed off. I'm guessing Yelich is going to get one from Crochet today.
Yeah, it was one of the Contrerases from the
World Baseball Classic.
Bingo, and his brother is on the Brewers. And to Gumpy's point, he's been hit 24 times, and it's with less than 500 at-bats against the Brewers. It's like the most in the history of baseball for one guy against one team. So I don't know what the hell is going on. I think his brother's telling the pitcher, like, hey, fuck my brother. Hit him right now.
Does that happen with an on-base percentage? Maybe he's looking out for his brother.
Oh,
I'm not 100%
maybe.
sure.
Could've
That might be a good little play, actually. Hey, middle finger fastball immediately. Yep, hit him. Oh, see you later. On-base percentage higher here. We don't have to worry about you striking out to anybody. Are you going to tell anybody about this? Nope. Everybody's going to be mad at everybody. We're going to have two organizations want to kill each other over this. But we know that my brother's on-base percentage is going to be better because that counts, right?
Yes.
It's huge.
There's some very fast pitches going high and in on guys.
Dude.
Trout had that one.
Yep.
There was one, I think Judge got one like right here.
Yep.
Skeens hit someone doing it.
Is that a new pitch that's in, or is this normal?
That's probably just one that got away. Or
But it's been getting away.
Yeah.
I think like across the league.
Yeah, no, that's normal.
I've been seeing high for a righty into.
Back him off the plate a bit.
Yeah, you're trying to just establish the zone. Hey, the inside part of the plate is mine. So fucking back up, or I'm gonna drill you in the hand and break a couple fingers, and you're gonna be out a few.
So that is literally what's happening right there.
Yeah,
That's
I
what's
mean,
happening.
sometimes it is just like back like Skeens is the kind of guy who his control is so good. He's not hitting a whole bunch of guys. So like if he does miss like that, there is a chance that he's just a little bit wild and he's missing. But a lot of times it's that's my plate. Fucking back up.
Wilson Contreras, after getting hit by the Milwaukee Brewers for the 24th time, he says, they always say I'm not trying to hit you. That gets old. So next time they hit me again, I'm going to take one of them out.
Hell
That's a
yeah.
message. All right, baseball's
Baseball,
happening.
baby.
Yeah.
How's ABS doing?
Great.
Getting better?
Still good, I
Oh,
guess.
it's getting
What,
better?
yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday was the worst day for hitters challenging pitches in the ABS era so far.
So are all teams, because they only have two, and if you get it wrong, you lose it, are they just going to let the catchers be the ones that are going to call this going forward? But I guess the hitters have no defense then on that particular side?
Yeah, it's weird. It seems like some teams have been like strategically like kind of telling guys like, hey, in the first 7 innings, like just don't challenge anything at the plate. We're going to save these for high leverage situations late in the game. But then that kind of turns into like, so if there's like a full count with maybe some guys on base and like you need to score a run, guys are taking pitches like right down the middle and then just challenging them. And it's like, because it's like, well, shit, maybe it did miss and he'll walk. It inevitably doesn't happen. That guy strikes out, you lose your challenge, and then you're kind of fucked for if you do need it later.
Yesterday was the worst daily success rate for all hitter ABS challenges in MLB history.
I think it is fucking with some guys big time. It's making guys like more hesitant, and then they like don't really know what they want to do, and then I think it really is. So
I like that there's another head game being had. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back on the other side, wrapping up all the sports stories. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. Take 5.
Yeah, if he throws you a curveball, you're in trouble.
That breaking ball, good luck. It's pretty nasty.
Think he's going to make contact?
No. If I were you, I would just start swinging as you release it.
Do you think I make contact?
I can barely make contact against him.
Fight a bingo, 25 grand. Extra base hit, 15,000. If you walk me, $10,500 donation. Strikeout, 10,000. A hit is just 10,000. Ball contact, $5,000 donation.
Okay.
Hit by pitch, that's an extra 5,000. Strike is 1,000, obviously, and then every ball will be a donation by the pitcher as well. Skeen said that if he was pitching against me, he'd throw one behind me.
I've had a lot of votes to get you in the ribs. A lot of votes.
You can get in there and look at one if you want. Get used to it.
Is this the one you're going to put in my ribs?
Nope. You're not. Don't swing at this one. Don't swing.
All right, I won't. Okay. I thought it was going to burn my feet.
Rookie of the year. Get a little closer.
Just got a cramp in my left chest.
All right. No balls, no strikes.
Yeah, okay. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
I like that you let it go, though.
Yeah, first one.
Yeah, I like it. Oh, foul tip. Foul tip. Oh, where'd you go? Pat, where'd you go?
What was that?
That was purple.
That was a strike.
Oh, it's right there. Hey, thank you for your donation. Kershaw's challenge is forever grateful.
So what was that? You just threw fast?
Fast, curve. Oh, where'd you go?
And what else do you have?
I have a slider.
Fuck. This is guy number 2.
I'm bad number 2.
Yeah, I got a different attitude, this guy.
Okay.
I don't like what you're doing with the strikes, though.
You're on it. Oh, foul ball! Foul ball, you got me though there, right?
Yeah.
Contact, okay.
Yeah. I will put on my Twitter bio, made contact. What's he throwing? 0-2. This will be his curve, right?
That's all I got right there.
Yeah, I saw it.
Hey, fastball away, all right?
Over here.
Maybe. I mean, you never know, but I'm going to try. Fastball away. Oh!
I think I got it.
That was legit. Did that hurt?
Yeah.
You got jammed.
Thank you, dude.
We'll count that as a single. Infield single.
Hey, I got a ghost runner there. He's fast.
Ghost runner
Overthrow.
first.
He's on second.
Okay. I got it! Oh. Hey, good work, dude. That was awesome.
I knew the curve was coming right there.
You did?
Yeah.
How'd you know?
Just because I thought because I made contact.
Oh, yeah. You read
You're
my
like,
mind.
all right, let's fucking make him eat
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
you got it.
You told me fastball away.
Yeah, it cut in a little. You got jammed, but contact. Like I was aiming away through a two-seamer, and it's supposed to kind of run, but it kind of ran the other way.
I didn't think about the punch-out pitch. Like I was sitting there.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's up 0-2. You're definitely gonna hit me with something.
Oh, where'd Where'd you go? Good catch. Got you there.
I think I got on base.
That's an infield single. You know it. You had enough of those.
Did you see his face? He said, I don't know.
I don't know about
If that's
that.
real, he said.
Mookie's a good shortstop, from what I remember. I'll give you one hit. Give you one hit, one foul ball, and then I did catch. Does that count? Does that count your foul ball?
The catch definitely counts as a two for there.
Okay, there's a few swing and misses.
A lot of swing and misses.
So yeah, you just let me know.
We appreciate you being a great American.
Thank you, man.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hey, no, there's no way I'm going to be able to throw enough strikes.
All right.
Thank you, dude. You're the best.
That was great, man.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this new National Champ Sports Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. No, is hour 3. Sports! You know, I had to reverse it a little bit because I forgot what I was saying because I was so excited about the fact that AJ Hawk's back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Goggle.
Didn't we had a week without him.
Yeah.
We had a week without him. The Talks Table at Boss Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Connor said it was cool. It was not cool. One half of the Hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys AP Tone is here. 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler is here.
Miss you, AJ.
Yeah, we did miss you,
did miss
AJ.
you, AJ.
Yeah, miss you guys.
Love
for
you,
sure.
AJ.
You too, Con. Miss you, Con.
He didn't miss us. Don't freaking lie.
Whoa,
Okay, don't
easy.
patronize us.
Oh, he dropped a frickin' on you.
Yeah. Now you know I'm for real, bitch.
Yeah, you know that's a big deal, obviously, whenever you get to that. Hey, D-Bot, we're sorry about what happened to your school last night.
Sports. I might, you know what? I might stop going to live sporting events. The last two, been heartbroken. WBC, Venezuela,
And then
unbelievable
Miami,
crowd.
Indiana.
Yeah. Another road game, WBC in America, in Miami, and then same thing last night. But congratulations to the Wolverines.
Dusty May, big time.
Really does take the wind out of your sails going to a game like that where you really want to win and they lose.
Oh, man.
Yeah, especially because getting out of there is going to be problematic.
Yeah, you got to walk down the street with.
Yeah, all your gear.
Oh, they go Blues!
Yeah.
Fuck up.
A lot of Go Blues last night. Yeah, a lot of Go Blues. A lot of Michigan people there.
Yeah.
They were omnipresent, I would say, is the word of what Michigan kind of did. Let's go one half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys. I know a few of us got the crown last night. H, who'd you pick last night? Oh, yeah?
I had UConn with the points, so yeah, I think I got that.
Oh, he got the crown as
AJ
well.
got the crown.
Hey, we're kind of crowned up around here.
Mm-hmm.
You got the crown?
I did not get the crown. I had to take my team straight up.
Oh, my God.
You didn't have
You missed
to.
the crown opportunity.
You didn't have to.
I had to.
We all had one crowning moment, and you dropped it. You could have had a crown.
No crown for me. You got two. West Virginia, and you got the crown last night.
Yeah.
So congratulations. You know, somebody
There's a
got to
lot
take
of
that
crowns.
L.
You got 2 crowns too last night.
Yeah.
Because you said UConn plus 6.5. Shout out Michigan winning the Natty. That's 2 for 2 for UConn. Man, we're seeing it pretty good right now.
Yeah, seeing it pretty good. I think just to go back to the conversation we were having at the end of the last hour, I also went about 0 for 8 on Red Sox crowns. So really, it was more of a 2 for 10.
on your own
But
team.
on the day, yeah, exactly. That's fanhood. On just strictly, hey, how are we seeing the board?
Sure.
Yeah, how we doing?
crowns.
2 for 2, crown. Crown.
Everywhere for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun being back in the crown game.
It's nice to
Only
have a
recently, since that minus $1,100, $5,000 bet, I do believe the gambling gods have been keeping the crowns away from my account. And as you know, I chose not to deposit back into it again in a couple of days. But then whenever you start seeing what's going on around college hoops, all of a sudden you get a feeling like, I think I know what's going to happen here. UConn was going to make that thing tight no matter what. Michigan inevitably was going to win because they were too deep, too big, too strong, too good.
Yeah.
One half of the hammer. Cowboys, AP Tone. You went 2 for 2 last night on Crowns last night. I don't know if you bet on anything else. Like, I think soccer's happening right now as well.
Soccer is happening. I didn't bet on soccer at all. Did well.
Hockey's happening right now?
Yeah. Slate was kind of shite last night in hockey. NBA, the slate is always shite. But did bet on baseball. Did some good baseball last night. So, yeah, few crowns last night.
What's that all about? The NBA slate's always
That's true. That's just true.
The Utah Jazz were plus 24.5.
And they didn't even come close to covering.
It's the National Basketball Association. What happened to this league?
I think that was a record.
The two greatest, actually, it was a record. And the two greatest margins of victories in the history of the NBA have come on not last night, but the 2 nights before that. There's just no close games. I mean, it's just.
Roman Anthony Handel's back here by Boston Connor. Just dropped his baseball. A little bit of noise here on the other side. Let's talk about NBA losing another star player with 64 games.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Wemby took a shot to the Paul George caught him right there in the ribs.
Come on, Paul.
Boom. It was a little bit of a, I don't know where it was.
What's the injury?
I think they said ribs. So it might have been a stretch as opposed to a shot. You know, like if you stretch,
He's holding his elbow.
Did he punch him? They saying it's his rib.
He's so tall.
Elbow.
So tall. Everything. Think about just the size. His forearm is what? 24 probably. 24 if I had to guess. Yeah. Because standard forearm is what? 12 inches. Because it's what the King did for a foot, right?
Yep.
Isn't that what they said?
Is that right? Is that what it is?
I think so.
Which king?
I have no idea. I think he just measured his own foot. But this one here, I don't know what it's supposed to be, but I would assume Wemby's is like, just think about everything on his body. Rib cage.
Bro,
okay, his rib cage is
standing next to Shaq yesterday.
Everything is bigger. So every injury is larger. Obviously, that's what it's going to be. He's at the 64 game mark, I do believe.
Yep. Yeah.
So this is a huge conversation because he's in the MVP conversation. You have to play 65 games to be up for awards, remember, because they're trying to get rid of the stars not playing because they just don't want to play in the NBA right now. And now, like, legitimate injuries and things are happening to people, and they're potentially not going to hit the mark, which is definitely going to affect a contract that can be, like, doubled or tripled even. It's a interesting predicament that the NBA finds itself in. And back in the day, we asked Shaq this yesterday. We're like, how do you feel about the load management and the season maybe changing and all that stuff? And I think Mark Cuban even pitched, like, shortening the games just a little bit and make them 40 minutes as opposed to 48 minutes or whatever the case was. And Shaq goes, don't change it. We had to do it. You know, it's like they're always going to say that. The old heads are always going to say that. And I think the new days guys are like, we're all 7 foot now. Isn't everybody gigantic now? It feels like everybody is like a once in a lifetime type athlete whenever you look at it. So I think they're probably saying we operate a little differently. And Shaq's like, you don't think I'm one once? What do you think I did? So it's such a fascinating thing.
Question.
Because we've seen it happen before and how it has to go. And Victor Wembanyama has logged his second game below 20 minutes this season, which will count toward the 65-game minimum. Since he also played in the NBA Cup Final, Wemby needs to log just one more game with 20-plus minutes this season to qualify for awards. Awards also qualify you for bonuses in the future for contracts and what Supermax can be and what Supermax cannot be.
Yeah, that would be what that answer I was going to ask. Can he just come out and do jump ball and then get subbed out just to reach that threshold? We would hate it, but that answered that question. He is the favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year, too,
yes,
right?
But yeah.
Like a long shot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who would be next up if he?
That's a good question.
I hope it's Draymond, just so we can get another speech. Is Draymond in that? Did you see that clip?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yes, he was.
His sweet fanny pack he had on, too, when he stood up to walk around the table.
Incredible. Hashtag new media. Golden State's still in it.
Yeah.
Golden State's still in it. Steph Curry's back. That's part of the conversation. Joker's outrageous. Wemby needs to play 20 more minutes in a game. How many games are left? 6?
4 to 6, if I remember correctly.
4 games.
That's a big deal.
But
yes.
On DraftKings, make the crown yours. There is no Defensive Player of the Year odds right now. So
makes sense.
They just assume he's going to. You got to play. I mean, I get it. the difference is in get that Superman, like standing to lose a shitload of money. And listen, I know he's a big dude. If he's missing 4 games because of that fucking collision, I'll never watch a fucking NBA game again.
Come on.
I know he's an alien. He's huge. He's not like anybody else.
That's fair.
Get out there and play fucking 20 minutes next week. Win all your awards. Make sure you can make the most amount of money, and then you can fucking sit out 3 more games. But
it's a rib contusion.
I bet.
That means a bruise.
That happens all the time.
We've been skipping the stone. I'm pretty sure my pinky is fucking broken because my glove's not broken in. But does that mean I'm not going to go out here and skip the stone?
No, it doesn't. I'm just going to fucking eat it and then take it off and be like, God, my fucking hand hurts.
Every time?
Every single time. And that's just what you got to do. Okay, so Wemby, just go out there and play 20 minutes. And then you fucking, you take a break until the playoffs start. But if we're missing 4 games and he's not going to win Defensive Player of the Year and he's okay with potentially losing like $70 million from that collision, I'm done. I'll never do it again, ever.
I think it's wise,
Sage
piece of advice.
Yeah.
We don't know how that left rib contusion is, though. We don't know how the contusion is versus the broken pinky.
Yeah.
We've been watching you.
Guess what?
We've been watching you throw through real injury here.
No. I'm fucking receiving. I'm catching. That ball's making it worse, really, every single time
How's your
we
glove?
give
How's
down.
your glove?
It's so fucking stiff.
It's so small.
It has not yielded an inch. It's a stubborn bastard. It really is. So
he's been trying to break this thing in. I walk by, he's got this fucking hammer thing. He's just hitting it. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm breaking in my glove. He could have got that at the store. I don't know anything about this shit. I've never bought a glove in my life. So I guess it takes like 4 or 5 days, they say, to break in the glove. He was in a place he could not wait.
Those guys are doing it all. I mean, if they're spending 12 hours a day just fucking ramming that thing, 4 to 5 days.
But isn't that when you buy it? Don't they say we can get it to you in 4 to 5 days?
Yeah, you could, but I'm not letting some other fucking slapdick break in my glove because I want it broken in how I want it broken in.
There, yeah.
So, but now
wrap it at night. Wrap it with rubber bands. Put a ball in there. The glove.
Yeah. Hey, dickhead, I've done it before. I know how to break in a glove.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew exactly.
At this point, we have the stuff here.
Any other ideas, AJ, for him?
Put some good glove oil. Get one of those bats that has a ball on top.
Throw it in the oven. Yeah, thought about that too. Unfortunately, I think at this point, I am going to have to take it to one of those slap dicks at Dick's Sporting Goods and have them break it in for me because
4 to 5 days.
Yeah, 4 to 5 days. I just don't know how much longer I can do it with my
You take it on Thursday, we'll be back by Monday.
The glove thing has been it's been awesome to watch and experience for the first time in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Just what Connor has done with his glove, he has really molded it into what he wants it to be. Because remember, he couldn't catch a damn thing with that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning, it was just bouncing off, and now he's got a full catcher's mitt that I think he'd be okay going to game with right now. Is this what's happening with everybody out there? And why can't they sell these things a little bit more broken in?
They do. You can buy one, that's like pretty much broken in. The nice ones though, like the very nice gloves, like that's kind of just part of the fun is breaking because people like will bend the glove like different ways and shit like that because like you want it to feel a certain way when like you're fielding the ground ball or catching a fly ball, and not everyone's the same. So you kind of break it in. You find your pocket. That's part of the fun. Until you break your fucking pinky, and then you got to play catch with it, and it's a tiny fucking glove. It's so small. I feel like Ty Cobb, like in 1905, fucking playing with this thing, and it drills me right on the spot that hurts every single time I catch it.
I watch Ozzy
Gideon,
baseball coach, now a former baseball player. He was talking. It was a throwback video. Seemed to be like a training lesson. I guess there's a catch version where it looks like you're just barehanding it. And then you're throwing it, so like ball comes in, it looks like you're not even using your glove pretty much. He talked about watching somebody whenever he was a kid do that, figure out how he did it because it looked like a magic trick. And he was doing it. I guess a lot of people do this, just strict palm right into other hand. It's just basically a deflection is how like actual, I feel like he was talking as if like he actually catches.
Some infielders, when they're turning two, will have the glove closed and use the outside of the glove, so it's like they're using it to kind of cushion it and stop it
almost,
but they're not opening it.
Don't
They're
get
using
caught
the
in
outside.
there.
Yeah, that little thing was slick. I was watching him do it, so I was like, "Oh, that does look like he's barehanding that right now." And then they like slowed it down like the Masked Magician did, and it was like, boom, no, you're kind of like stalling it right there, and then just dropping it into your hand.
Catchers is almost like that when a guy's running on you to second. Yeah, you're
just stopping
just as quick as possible.
Like you saw that a little bit with like Bobby Witt making those, like unbelievable plays in the World Baseball Classic. But that's kind of like the next level. Like when you start watching baseball for like a decent chunk, that's like these guys in the infield are just magicians. Like people hit the ball so fucking hard, and like how crafty they are with it. Like that's like kind of the next level of appreciation.
Connor, this guy's rangy.
Yeah,
Connor Griffin.
Yeah.
For how big he is, he's very rangy.
Yeah, because he made a play the other day.
Yeah, diving play, like almost up the middle, kind of, yeah.
I had a bunch of people say, that's routine play for shortstop right there in MLB. It's like, well, I liked it. I just want to let you know. The guy was nowhere near the fucking base. I mean, this guy was 2/3 away. That's nowhere near. It wasn't even close. It's like, if this guy's getting that type of range, that quick pop time like Jason Kendall.
Yep.
And then getting that thing over there with that. Much room. I don't know if that's the slowest guy in MLB or not, but like it is good news. I think that is good news for us on what he can do on the defensive side.
Yeah, certainly. And like there are 50 of those plays a night. That's why like the baseball, like when you actually like start watching a bunch of it, like it is very easy to marvel at how fucking good these guys are, because it is so hard, and like they make it look just so fucking easy. And then every once in a while you have Roman Anthony out there too.
Fuck you.
I don't like what they're doing to Roman.
On the internet?
Yeah.
I saw a new one yesterday.
Guys got the yips. This is I'm gonna all these Red Sox fans are gonna piss in all your guys' faces when he's throwing a fucking every guy out at home going forward. Once he gets over the yips, we need Mrs. Tony to bring.
They're saying he's going to go spaghetti to rigatone.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what he's going to go.
He needs some home
thick.
cooking.
Yeah, he's going to go thick. He's great here though. Maybe just DH.
I'm in for that too.
Maybe just 21.
162, maybe 200 home runs, a couple multi-game home runs.
We like Roman Anthony. I would like to see him have success. I also like that the Jacksonville Jaguars invest in their guys. Travon Walker, 4-year, $100 million extension that includes $77 million guaranteed and $50 million fully guaranteed at signing. Congrats to him. Congrats to Elite Loyalty
Sport?
Elite Loyalty They wanted sports agency maybe, and then like X just kind of stopped them. Elite Loyalty Sports, built to represent elite athletes. Team Vincent Taylor at Loyalty 24/7. Okay, don't fucking question it.
Yeah.
And Keith Houston in Irving, Texas.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so Elite Loyalty says that Travon Walker has now signed for $50 million. Good for him. Good for the Jags. This guy's a monster, D-Buck.
Yeah, he is good in the run game, good in the pass game. I think you talked about him on the other side of just how big him and Josh Hines Allen are out there as bookends. And this is a good sign because this was a number one draft pick from the previous regime. So they have a new regime who's re-upping them. And it's not like at the top of the market. He's not resetting the market. But this is a great deal for the Jaguars. And it's a good deal anytime you see a guy getting $50 million guaranteed.
Who was supposed to get drafted ahead of him? Aiden Hutchinson, right, was the full convo on particular draft night. Well, the Jags say, we appreciate him, AJ. Like anytime they draft somebody and pay somebody if you're an organization.
Yeah, if you're Jacksonville, don't you think this is a good thing too? Like he's part of the old regime, but you show, hey, if you come here and we draft you, even though he was the number one overall pick, that we will take care of you. I think that's what great franchises do. They take care of the people that they draft and kind of prove them right, I guess. They reward them with a contract. Here you go.
This was one of those, like we were talking about earlier today with David Bailey and Arvell Reese, whoever may go second. This was one where it was like Travon Walker was the freak at the combine, came out, had all the athletic tools, was huge. And then, Hutch had a lot more of the production. So that was every single draft we see this was just one of the great examples.
I can't wait for the draft. We have no idea what's going to happen.
Yep, pumped.
We're going to be live from Pittsburgh with our 6th, 5th?
First one was COVID, so 6.
6th annual draft spectacular. AJ, this one's shaping up to be gigantic.
I can imagine that.
This one's starting to cook a little bit. It's hard to book everything so far in advance, especially when you're talking to people who potentially have other options, and things like that. So as people try to figure out what they're trying to do, what they're thinking about doing, the draft spectacular is starting to come together pretty nicely. And I will say the draft always provides us with magical moments. Last year, I'll never forget Ty Schmidt losing his mind when old Golden gets drafted. I mean, that was special. That was a special night.
Yeah, it was
and
awesome.
the fans that were in the crowd, they loved it. Right, and we were right alongside of them. Mike McCarthy was on the program, obviously. He was spectacular, had notes for everybody. I'll be pumped to see how this year's goes. And the fact that Fernando's not there, I think that moves the draft a little bit quicker.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, less time for each pick.
I think it'll move a little bit, and I think that's good for action on draft night, AJ.
I think it's always, we know over the last few years, I feel like they do a good job of speeding it up, time in between. Like there's not as much dead time, even though the first round does feel like it can drag at times when you get towards the end of it. But I think Raj is smart. He knows, like, hey, we need to give everybody what they want, but we don't need to mess around and have any garbage in between and, keep people entertained, I guess.
What are we down to, 7 minutes?
I think it's 8 minutes now. They took it from 10 to 2. and took 2 minutes off, right?
Yeah, I remember they've been tinkering with it over the last couple of years. I'll be excited to see what it actually is this year. We will not be tipping picks at our 7th annual Draft Spectacular.
Oh, shit. Really?
We've been doing this a long time, covering this draft for a long time. Peter Schrager got a commitment out of him earlier today where he'll be a part of the program. And, last year the big-time trade at 2 comes in. And Jacksonville is the one that shakes it all up. What team will do it this year? Especially where everybody's seemingly a little wishy-washy on a lot of things. That means somebody will like somebody. Somebody will make a deal. Somebody will be willing to move, hopefully. And who doesn't get drafted and it becomes the topic of every conversation, basically.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at 2 this year, again, it's not like now they're not going to say this, but it's not like the Jets are going to win anything this year, and they have 3 first-round picks next year. So could they be a team that is fine with moving back at 2 and someone who is more win now ready, move up to get a player that's going to make a huge difference? Yes, the same with the Cardinals too. Like now the GM's not new, obviously, with the Cardinals, but the coaching staff is, so maybe they have some leeway. There's a lot that can happen in the first 10 picks of this draft.
AJ, have you seen the narrative brewing about Arvell Reese and David Bailey? Maybe there's a little...
What are they saying about him?
David Bailey may be more ready to go now. Arvell Reese may be a little bit more of a project, for down the road. What are your thoughts on Arvell Reese and the conjecture around him, especially post-pro day?
Yeah, I mean, Arvell is an absolute freak. We all know that, like physically, mentally, everything he can do. But he does have very little reps as an outside rusher, as an edge rusher. So if you want to bring him in and make him like a full-time edge rusher, then I don't know. I don't say it's going to take a bunch of time. The guy, I think wherever you play him, hopefully you have some special third down packages for him. Walk him off the ball, let him blitz the A-gap, let him wrap, let him be the spy when you're playing against a very athletic quarterback, things like that. But I think it just depends on what scheme he goes to and how diverse his role might be.
I think he's going to be a good pro. I'm excited to see where he ends up at. Caleb Downs, another guy that I think is going to be a great pro. Josh Chapman, who was a teammate of mine and D-Butts. Mm-hmm. He was a locker mate of mine. He was from Alabama. He won multiple national championships with Alabama. I think he was a captain as a junior potentially for Alabama. I mean,
big chap.
Out of the norm stuff for Alabama. And he was awesome. He was massive nose tackle, and he liked eating, loved barbecue, had a deep laugh. I mean, could sing good. Everything about him was just incredible. As soon as we got down there and saw him, when Caleb Downs was a freshman, he pointed at him and said, "Gold jacket." That guy is a gold jacket right there. And it was like the first day he got on campus that happened. Then he goes to Ohio State. They obviously have success. It's like Caleb Downs is a guy who's going to be good in the NFL, and I think everything that everybody has said about him at Alabama and at Ohio State is going to weigh heavy on GM's minds on draft night. I think that's going to really sway some things because of how special they say he is. They got him slotted to 12 to Caleb Downs, or to the Dallas Cowboys, I think is Schrags. But Schrags is only saying that because he doesn't know if he's going to make it that long, and it feels like Dallas would love him if he was there.
And everybody's kind of putting him in that area strictly because of the position that he plays and kind of the history of that position and where they are drafted. But as soon as this guy walks in the building, he's going to make your pass defense and your run defense better. He's a great communicator. He's been playing in NFL defense with Matty P. He talks through the game pre-snap. He just does everything well. He can cover. He can blitz. His open field tackling. We were on boots on the ground on the Cotton Bowl. Like, every time he hits a wide receiver, like, he's showing up and hitting like a fucking ton of bricks. So I love everything about Caleb Downs, from between the ears to how he plays on the football field. Whatever team gets him, going to get a dynamic player to help him on both levels when it comes to that defense.
Perfect video from Foxy right there to talk about what you're talking about with Caleb Downs putting his face in a fan. He's everywhere. He was literally everywhere. And you talk about Arvell Reese being everywhere. It's like, that was a historic, legendary defense you guys had there in Columbus.
Yeah, like the guy going before Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles. It feels like Sonny Styles might be the best player in the draft this year, and he had the best combine damn near, and for some reason, he's not even getting touched.
And Caden Curry is going to be a great NFL guy. We all feel that way, right?
McDonald's a first-round pick as well.
He had no points.
Yeah, it's D tackle. Yep. Just he does eye black on his entire face. It's quite the look. Quite the look.
How long does that last for, you think?
No idea.
I was wondering about that. Like, Hutch has kept with it. Hutch has kept with his that thing.
Yeah. Is Dart still doing
Jackson Dart still does it, yeah.
Tyler Bass, the kicker, remember he had the
one,
the
he
Band-Aid,
got thrown
which was
out of
awesome.
town.
Yeah, but he came back, I think, somewhere.
You just can't put any messages on there, right? You can't have Austin 316.
Wide. Did you hear Tim Tebow told the John 316 story about his eye black? That was pretty crazy. I don't know if you've heard that.
No.
I think you should maybe check it out. A lot of Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Like the score, the time, all this stuff, how it all.
You don't want to hear that one, Tony.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that one, especially over Easter. You don't want to hear about that one.
Wait, what?
Especially with the new conversations that are happening out there saying, like,
I like Tebow.
there's aliens.
Yeah.
People are just saying there's aliens.
Oh, Tebow's
Important people.
Tebow's eyebrow has to
Congressmen.
do with aliens.
John 3:16, there's like a lot of 3 and 16 things that kind of, as it times up, if you were to go look back at it, Tim Tebow basically said, like, this feels like this is a little bit bigger than me. And this entire thing is the entire.
So if I do that to myself, then
If you write that,
good things will happen.
I mean, if you serve, maybe, I'm not 100% sure how it all works, but I do know it was nice to hear personally.
I'll
And it was
listen.
like, for me, it was like, I'm like, I like that. I
I'll
like to
listen,
hear
I'll
that.
judge there.
And then I hear guys say, yep, they're here. We know them. And if they wanted to, they would have taken us out already. It's like, okay, so everything we've thought, basically, like, that's true. And if they can take us out so quickly, what does that mean? That means, like, they can just get in a bad mood?
I guess.
How do we keep them out of a bad mood? Do we know how to keep them out of a bad mood? Let's not worry about that.
Yeah.
That's for another day.
You're right.
That's for another day. Hey, we don't need to worry. We'll let other people worry about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I worry about it a little bit the more you talk about it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I need to maybe stop, and we need to not worry about it.
Forget about it.
That was crazy to watch, though.
Ty and I told you, hey, there's nothing you can do about it. Just when it surfaces and starts attacking him, that's when we worry about it.
All right. I think we should think about having a plan, though.
I agree, but we're not coming up with that plan.
No, yeah, exactly.
Let the military, let the
You-
Space Force,
you have
let
a gun
all those
safe,
guys do that.
So
I'm
that's all you
fighting.
can do.
Because
Fight for my family.
Bingo.
No, I
I'm
get
prepared.
it, but unfortunately, when that thing surfaces, it's too late. That's my fear.
No, that's what I'm saying. We need to have a plan. Go talk to them.
No, yeah, of course.
I think they're scared of us. They're scared of us.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, with the way that guy was talking, Tim Burchett, I believe is his name. I think I might have met him before.
Okay.
Down in Tennessee, which is awesome to think about. But he said a lot of stuff just casually.
Oh, yeah.
Just like kind of said it.
They
Just
might be with AJ. They might be scared of us. You know, how, like humans are scared like spiders. Like obviously you could just step on them.
Yeah.
For
forgot about
rats,
Worms.
mice.
maybe we are that motherfucking species. I didn't think about that.
Mice?
You're saying we're the mice? No, I'm saying we're the fucking.
Oh,
We're the ones.
about it.
yeah.
we the
I don't
ones.
think they're
Oh,
scared of
yeah.
us like that.
Oh,
I think they're scared of us more like we would be scared of like a spider.
like ooh.
Yeah, like ooh. Oh, you know what? Never mind. Boom.
Yeah, but that's not good because what if they have like weapons that they can just never mind, boom, and then you're fucking
'cause
We're done.
We
zapped
got
into
mouse
dust.
traps.
Exactly.
We got mouse traps. I guess they potentially have those all over the place.
Maybe.
And maybe we're all just kind of falling into them every single day with our negativity and our division. And maybe it is all part of that. And maybe we are just the mice. But I like to say if we're going to be the mice, we got to be the mice to fucking win.
Yeah, get the fucking cheese.
Let's get the fucking let's get the cheese. Let's fucking find the right holes in the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, let's fucking make sure we're fighting here. Okay. That guy casual 4 minutes. Just, what I was told. Yeah, what I was told. By who? High ranking.
High ranking.
Guy, is he like 90 years old? Kind of lost it a little bit? No, currently.
Size of a football field, moving 200 miles an hour.
They got
Underwater.
said they got technology we can't even fucking comprehend. So
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We're actually in this thing together.
Yeah, whether you like it or not.
Okay? We need to remember that. Football field, 200 miles an hour, underwater.
We'll be fine. We got coaches on yachts that take that thing out.
All right.
That's right. They don't have those.
No, they don't. I promise you they don't.
AJ, it's really great to have you back. Thanks, man.
Great to be here. Tell the aliens to stay away.
I heard they're coming to Ohio.
Oh, good luck.
Now there's hybrids definitely walking amongst. We know that.
Now if they're illegal.
I saw McCann.
Yes, you did.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Might change your life. We're in this thing together. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you for allowing us to do this for a living. Team on me, team on three. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.